What's up? What's up? What's up, sports world? What's going on? Monday Night Madness makeup show right here, right now, going on live in full effect. Right here, I'm Andre the Torch Robinson, the fire starter, is in the building. What's up? We got a lot of sports talk coming up for you guys. I want to shout out a couple people first and foremost. Challenger News. I want to shout out the Waffle Sports. Want to shout out Public Access Channel 1302 at the Apollo Media Center. Also, I want to shout out Luigi's Pizza for being phenomenal and supporting these shows left and right. With that being said, I got to introduce my co-host too. Here he is, my guy. Friday Night Lights himself, Mr. Marcus the Alphabets is in the building. What's good, Marcus?
What's good, fam? You doing all right?
Man, I'm good.
I'm trying to be like you when I grew up, man. You sitting up here doing security, top flight security, defending these, protecting these multi-million-dollar athletes out there doing big things, man. I see you, man. I think I see you on TV too. You on TV?
I appreciate you. I appreciate that. Absolutely. I respect it. Appreciate you a bunch. Listen, it's all about us, man. Rise Up Family. We do real things over here. All right. Make sure you keep supporting real sports journalism and real sports talk. With that being said, I got my other guy over here, co-host of Rise Up Unlimited Sports Radio show on Thursday nights. My guy, Jay Renaud, is in the building. Jay, what's good, man?
Yeah, you know what's good. Sunday's good. Miami versus Buffalo. Heavyweight fight. NFL. Let's get it.
They ready for that matchup. But we got some week 2 games to talk about first and foremost. And by the way, my guy from the sports entertainment capital of the world will be here shortly. My guy, Rocco Raquelli, will be in the building as well. So make sure you guys right now that's on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter right now, make sure you like and share the show because we got a phenomenal one coming up. Obviously, let's get right into these NFL Week 2 games. We talked about the Chiefs in Chargers, 27-24. Chiefs, win that game off of a Justin Herbert mistake at the end of the game, 17-17 going in for what would have been the tie-breaking score. He throws an interception that gets returned 100 yards. My question is, real quick, as we move on into Week 2, how do we feel about Justin Herbert as it pertains to Week 2 already in his performances? How do we feel about Justin Herbert?
Well, you just said that he made a mistake, and yes, there was a pick six. I put that one on the coach because they were signaling for the tight end to come out because he had just made Gerald Everett was supposed to come out the game, and I know what I'm going to get. Marcus, you're a Chargers homer. That's you got a bromance. No, I get it all the time, even on my show. They're like, you got a bromance with Justin Herbert. I make no apologies. I think Justin Herbert is special. Hey, Jay, just real quick. If you had it to do again and you had a choice between Tua or Herbert, who you taking? Just let's put it out there.
Herbert.
Okay, so they can say the Chargers home. I am a Cowboys fan. I like Justin Herbert. I like everything about the kid. And people are bashing him. Number one, well, look, he hasn't won a playoff game. Again, in the division that you play in, when you're playing in the division with the Chiefs, okay, the Chiefs who've gone to the AFC Championship 4 years in a row, you're gonna have some issues on there. Who you play matters. So he is partly responsible for that, but I put that on the coach. Because they were signaling for Everett to come out the game. And he runs back on the field. He's up there waving, hey, take me out. And he goes out there. Justin Herbert throws it to him. The dude doesn't even run a pattern. Pick six, take it to the house. And that was the turning point in the game. So, if you want to bash the kid for that, and then I think he also showed his toughness. I mean, that hit that he took, I've never heard of fractured cartilage. I've heard of torn cartilage. I've never heard of fractured cartilage. I didn't even know you could do that. Is that like burnt water or what? I don't know how you're able to do that. Burnt ice is that? I don't know what that is.
It's called AKA torturing his midsection.
And he can't even run. He has a 3rd and 2 where the whole right side of the field's open. He can't even run. He just throws the ball out. He can barely breathe. And then the next play, he throws a strike right down the middle of the field.
That was pretty.
It throws it on a rope. The kid is special. He's special. He's talented. I hope he's okay because, without him, they're not going to go very far. But, it's you got to be the man.
You got to beat him.
You got to beat the man. I made an Alphabet Bits a couple of weeks ago about the Buffalo Bills beating the Rams. You went to SoFi, you punched them in the mouth. Now, Miami Dolphins, to be the man, you got to beat the man. The guy who's been the bully in the AFC East since Tom Brady has left the AFC, has been the Buffalo Bills. If you want that respect, you can't be poking your chest. I saw a video the other day. We want Buffalo. Okay, well, guess what? Now you get them. If they blow you out, I need you right here. Don't go into hiding. Don't be like Osama bin Laden. Don't be like Carmen Sandiego. I need you right here.
We are going to be closing a lot of mouths on Sunday. A lot of mouths.
You know what? You're going to get your opportunity.
What I want.
Yes.
And Torch, you can make this happen because I know you can.
Go ahead.
Once we beat Buffalo on Sunday, I want him here. I want him here.
I want to
see his mouth closed.
Yeah, he want Monster.
Oh, Monster. Oh, yeah, Monster.
Yeah. Don't go in the hiding. Don't be hard to find. You people like making videos and making cat calls and and doing all this, and that's cool. That's cool. Like I always say, the football guys giveth, and the football guys taketh away. Everything's been going pretty rosy for
These
you.
Buffalo fans are so arrogant and cocky right now.
It's like,
Come on, man. We was talking
literally-
about. All right, we got to get back to what we
Whoa.
was talking about.
No,
We'll
I'm
get to
just saying, but back to the original premise. We got a little sidetrack there, like we do. Justin Hurt, the Chargers are still the little brother, and you challenged Big Brother, and you got spanked again. So you want if you want that respect, eventually you got to beat Big Bro. Right now, Big Bro
Absolutely.
is still the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC East. The Buffalo Bills are Big Brother. They've been spanking you every time they seen you for the past couple of years. Here's your chance.
And I still think there's only two coming out of that West. Everybody was talking all preseason, oh, this is the toughest division. There's going to be three there. The Raiders, you got to worry about the Raiders. You got to worry about Denver. It's like, dude, come on. Kansas City is what they are. And we all knew that.
No, we didn't all know that. No, we didn't know that because people were saying that Patrick Mahomes without Tyreek Hill wasn't going to do anything. He couldn't survive without him. And what we've seen, I believe that Patrick Mahomes is playing some of his best ball because he's distributing the ball. And when you play the Chiefs now, you don't know who's going to get the ball. Will it be Juju Smith-Schuster? Will it be Marquez Valdez-Scantling? Would it be Sky Moore? I think
it's Edwards-Helaire actually playing how he was supposed to be playing once he had gotten drafted.
And don't forget Jerick McKinnon. Jerick McKinnon is balling too. Kelsey is still Kelsey. So we're going to see. But we got some tests coming up here. We're going to talk about this on some of the games that we saw. But this is going to be we got other shows coming up, where we talk about the games going forward, but we want to stick to this. But an exciting week of football. We saw some stuff this week, and I'm just excited.
Absolutely.
Okay, so all right. With that being said, that was Thursday night football game. I got a question for everybody that's on Facebook right now, YouTube, and Twitter. Who is the top quarterback currently in the NFL in yards? That is my first question. Do not answer it. Who is the top quarterback?
He can't throw the ball. He can't throw the ball. He can't throw the ball.
We all know it ain't Josh Allen. He ain't even in the top 10.
That's a lie.
Yeah, he is. He's in the top. He's in the top. I think he's number 4.
I saw that list and I didn't see him on there.
No, he's number 4. He's number 4. I just saw the slide. He's number 4. He's number 4. He's number 4, and
did he reach 300 yards yet? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
the guy up top has the most touchdowns, has the most passing yards, and
if you remember when we had these shows preseason, and someone asked me what were my thoughts on Tua's numbers. And people laughed at me when I told them. Didn't I say? I thought I said like 3,800 yards and something like 35 touchdowns or something. And people were laughing me out of the building, literally thinking that he'd be lucky if he had 25 touchdowns and under 3,000 yards.
I tried to explain to people because even on my show, I was getting, he can't throw the ball. I'm like, dude, do you know who he played with in college? And I get it. The pro game is different from college. The dude played with Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, and Jalen Waddle. He had probably the fastest wide receiver core in NCAA. So it's. And the thing with these guys, with Waddle and Hill, is they're yak guys. He doesn't have to throw the ball that far. He can take a 5-yard out, and they turn upfield and hit their head on the goalpost in the opposite direction. But we're going to see, because somebody lost another corner, and I pray we here at the Rise Up family do not, Torch, you were there, seeing Dane Jackson. I mean, that was ugly. We send our prayers up for him. He actually got hit by his own guy, got hit by his own guy. I mean, it was just really.
Yeah, that was scary.
That was. When I saw that, I kind of thought of Michael Irvin when his career ended, when he went head first, and the Philadelphia Eagles were cheering. So, is there any word on him, Torch? You were actually there, physically there. Was there? What's the word on that?
Yeah.
So Dane Jackson was looked at. He was rushed to ECMC. He did receive medical treatment. He does have movement in his extremities. So there is good reports coming out of One Bills Drive about Dane Jackson currently. Now, what I'm going to do later on is I'm going to talk to Mookie Hawkins as well and see if any notifications came to the radio station and see if anything else has been said. But that was the last word that I had got personally myself, is that he was treated and was released. He is okay right now. He is okay right now as we speak. With that being said, though, being okay, again, put it in the comment section. Who is the top quarterback in the league in yards? Come on now. I'm waiting. Now, let me read some of these comments. Ricky Graves said, what's up? Wayne said, evening, fellas. This Sunday is going down. They're really going to receive all Buffalo smoke, too. If the Bills lose, do we get show if Dolphins win? Yes, absolutely. No question, Brad. No questions asked. All right, my brother. No questions.
We might have to do a special show. We might have to do a special Alphabets football show and get Jay on there so he can talk. He can talk a little smiggity smack, because I just
if they win. That's if they win. Now I'll tell you what. It's gonna be a lot of fun, regardless of the fact.
Where's the game at?
It's in Miami.
Hard Rock, baby.
Yeah, it's in Hard Rock. Now, this is what I will tell you. Mark the Alphabets. I just told Jay Renaud, since we done jumped into week 3 stuff, real quick. The Buffalo Bills have played the Miami Dolphins in Hard Rock Stadium 3 years in a row now. Do you know what the record is when Buffalo goes to Miami?
Probably 3-0. 3-0?
Yeah, but
they're undefeated.
Okay.
And the last time they put up big numbers.
Okay. So when Tom Brady left the New England Patriots, what was your record against the New England Patriots? It's not the same team.
Oh yeah, we understand. We understand that fully. By the way, we got PR Connections Radio. The sports angle is in the building. Rocco Raquelli is in the building. Good thing we didn't get too far in this week.
Well, see, the thing is, I was patiently waiting for an invite, and then I didn't see one, so I had to text Marcus, be like, "Yo, send me the invite, man. Like, send me the link."
I sent you the link already. I said it 1,000 times already. See, you don't be paying attention to your.
See, Andre, I never got it, man. I was checking my Facebook Messenger, man. I never got it.
Man, I sent it at like 6 o'clock. I sent everybody to join. You got to check again. I bet you that just like the Bears took an L, you'll take an L if you look in your messenger. I bet you it's in there. I bet you. I put money on that. With that being said, let's get to the Jets and Browns game. All right. How about those Jets? Jets, Jets.
The resurgence of Flacco.
Oh, yeah. Somebody told me Flacco was trash. Wait a minute. Somebody told me Flacco was trash. Is he finally an elite
quarterback, Joe Flacco? Finally?
No, he ain't an elite quarterback. Stop that mess. Now, see, you're going that far, Mr. Elite. He ain't elite.
Hey, 2 weeks in, over 600 yards, man. Over 600
he ain't
yards.
Trash like somebody claimed he was dumpster juice last week. Somebody said Joe Flacco was trash. He is not trash.
Joe Flacco is.
Joe Flacco, 307 yards in this one, 4 touchdown passes, 26 and 44 in the game. Breece Hall had 50 yards rushing. Garrett Wilson had 102 yards and 2 touchdowns with 8 receptions in this one. As the Jets stun those Browns. They stun those.
Let's not get too excited about that. You know, Flacco is one of those quarterbacks can definitely keep teams in the game, you know, one way or another.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's what he is. He's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Exactly. Yeah, I 100% agree with that, Marcus.
He'll come out. He'll look like a franchise quarterback for a couple of games, and lo and behold, on that third or fourth game, the clock strikes midnight.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. You dudes are disrespectful to the beard, first and foremost. Ryan Fitzpatrick, y'all highly disrespectful. Calling Joe Flacco a guy. Wait a minute. How disrespectful, you guys? Joe Flacco has won a Super Bowl. Hold on. Joe Flacco has won a Super Bowl.
So did Trent Dilfer.
Wait a minute. No, we talking about playoff performances, though. Had one of the better playoff performances that we've seen in a while in the playoffs. And y'all trying to say he Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And then in the next year after he got that contract, he peed all over himself.
And look, if you want to be technical, Marcus, if you want to be technical, he is that veteran quarterback who'll be in for 4 to 5 games. He is a Tyrod Taylor at this point, a veteran quarterback.
A bridge. He's a constant bridge, a bridge quarterback. We need you to come in here, win us a few games until the number one pick that we drafted takes over, and that's what we need you to do. That's it.
There's nothing wrong to be that way. You're getting paid handsomely to be a bridge quarterback.
Yeah.
But that's what Joe Flacco is. Joe Flacco, he'll be in for 4 to 5 games. Then you got the Cougar Hunter and Zach Wilson. Yep. You know, he's going to come in and stink it up in New York and be a bust like I said he was going to be. So, hey.
He made a pretty good, Chase Daniels made a pretty good living as a backup quarterback.
Whoa. Wait a minute. How disrespectful. My man Flacco is going for over 300 yards in both games. Y'all highly disrespectful right now of my man Joe Flacco. You know what?
I'm not being disrespectful.
Week one.
Hey Joe, we got Marcus the Alphabets on here and Rocco Raquelli disrespecting your name, man. They said
I am disrespecting you.
First off, I'm not disrespecting Joe Flacco. I'm just calling him what he is. He's a guy who will be in for 4 to 5 games. He'll be in for 4 to 5 games. Then you got the MILF Hunter. You got the Cougar Hunter and Zach Wilson. And he'll come in. He'll stink up the joint. All right, he'll stink up the joint. The Jets will move on from him after 2 years because he's a trash quarterback who shouldn't have been drafted in the top 5 anyway.
Yeah.
Highly disrespectful.
Hey, I'm from University of Utah. He's from BYU. If there's anybody who would know about Zach Wilson, it would be me. He's
you're talking about Zach Wilson?
Zach Wilson?
Yeah, Zach Wilson is trash. He's dumpster juice. Can we move on? Can we move on? All I'm gonna say in a nutshell is Nick Chubb had 3 touchdown runs in this game and they lost. Kobe Brissett only had 5 incompletions and they lost. With that being said, gotta get moving. Gotta get moving on these joints. The Lions. Wait a minute. Didn't y'all say the Lions wasn't gonna beat the Washington Commanders? God darn it! That name is annoying.
I said Detroit was going to be good this year. I didn't call.
I had the Lions as a playoff team, so you can't.
I have them pretty close to that.
The Lions got some pieces, man. And when they get back Jameson Williams, you look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, you look at DeAndre Swift, you look at Hawkinson, you look at Jamal Williams, the backup running back. They got Aiden Hutchinson, number 2 overall pick. They got some pieces that are coming, and they got a good coach who's changing the culture up there. Dan Campbell, former NFL player, used to be a tight end for my Cowboys.
They got a really good defense coordinator in Aaron Glenn. Yeah. He was a Cowboy. You would know about him.
Yeah, Jets, Cowboys. He's from here. Went to high school here. Aaron Glenn. Right. Actually went to UTEP.
I want you to give the Lions some respect, even though they're in the North, and I'm about give the Lions some respect. They done put up 30+ points in each game. The Eagles. I think if they would have had a little bit more time, they might have caught the Eagles. No, not the way Jalen Hurts was destroying them boys.
Jalen Hurts. The Lions are good. Okay, they're not as bad anymore, but they need to stop being Atlanta and losing these big leads every week.
Yeah,
we're seeing it every week. Like literally, the Commanders almost made it back.
They almost did. I need to ask Andre this question because I wonder if your audience would know the answer to this question.
Go ahead.
Who is second in the NFL right now in passing yards? Which quarterback?
Ooh, I already actually know the answer to that question.
Hey, go ahead.
I know it. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Here's the answer. The answer is Carson Wentz.
Yeah, Carson Wentz is second in the NFL. Granted, he played against the Jaguars and the Lions, but he is second in the NFL.
He's trash too.
Yeah, he's trash too.
Let's read some of these comments real quick. Tua, Wentz, Allen, Herbert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By the way, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tua, Wentz, Flacco, Allen, Herbert. Who had them in the top 5 to start the season?
Well, I would have had Allen and Herbert.
I would say Allen and Herbert. But the other 3, the top 3, nobody had them as the top 3. Don't even lie. Nobody had them as the top 3.
I was going to have Dak Prescott on there, but unfortunately, he's not going to be able to do it now. So.
All right. With that being said, not being able to do it, the Saints weren't able to beat the Buccaneers, which they usually do. But the Buccaneers 20-10 over the Saints. We had some fighting in this game too. Yeah, some tempers flare in this game too. Your thoughts on the Tampa Bay Bucs and the New Orleans Saints?
Here's the thing. Marshawn Lattimore, this is you. You're 0. Marshawn Lattimore, you are a 0. Mike Evans, he is 3-0 against you. Every time you try to fight Mike Evans, you land on your back. So, Marshawn Lattimore, stop trying to fight Mike Evans. Because apparently he is the one who beats you up every single time. So, that's all I got to say.
Your mic is off. They usually see the guy who a lot of people feel like Brady instigated that, and Mike Evans kind of can't, which you're supposed to do. You know, when your quarterback gets in something, you're supposed to defend your quarterback. But there's I don't know. That's going to hurt them. They went and signed Cole Beasley today. You know, the Tampa Bay's really been struggling with wide receivers. You lost Godwin again. Julio's hurt like usual. You know, now you've lost Mike Evans. He got suspended a game today, so they're trying to appeal that. So we'll see what happens, but not very smart considering that
he got a fine as well.
Yeah, and I think Lattimore got I think he got fined too. So it's just a messy situation.
All right. With that being said, we got anything more to say about this 20-10 victory that saw Jameis Winston throw 3 interceptions? Chris Olave had a good game.
I saw Tom Brady literally look like he's 45 years old. Tom Brady is not having a good campaign. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, considering what's going on in his personal life, can you blame him though?
Well, they say happy wife, happy life, happy life, man. It's hard to go and perform. It's hard to go and perform when your home's not right. I would like to get into people's personal business, but when things ain't right at home, it's really hard to go out and whatever profession that you're in, let alone when you're trying to play quarterback in the NFL and people are trying to take your head off. So,
I mean, hey, look, when the breadwinner in the house is having problems with you, I mean, that's going to cause problems to you no matter what. So,
yeah. Well,
right,
if your spouse ain't happy, it's really hard to do what you got to do. It's real hard.
Well, I mean, you could tell. I mean, the way he's acting on the sidelines is, I mean, you guys know my personal opinion of that guy is anyway. But he's taking more tantrums than a 5-year-old. This guy on the sidelines, it's ridiculous to see this. Guy's 45 years old, freaking out on the sidelines.
Well, it's his last season. He's gonna get it all out of the system.
Yelling at he's like the old guy over the fence yelling.
Get off my grass! Get off my grass!
No, he's the grandpa from The Simpsons. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
That guy, he's got other issues.
All right, so Real quick, talking about another marriage that it's took place this past season. Brian Daboll and the New York Giants. 2-0 Giants right now. 19-16 victory over the Carolina Panthers. What do you like about this Giants team? And should the Giants be at the top of the division?
You know, I'm going to start out with this by saying, man, Daniel Allen is looking pretty good right now.
Jones.
Daniel Allen is looking pretty good right now.
Daniel Allen.
Daboll has turned Daniel Jones into what Josh Allen was in Buffalo. I give a round of applause.
Isn't it amazing when you have a steady coaching, you have a steady coaching staff, and you're not having to learn a new offense every year. You're not playing in a brutal division where you're getting your head smashed in. I think I said this a few weeks ago. I think I said this a few weeks ago when we were talking about if certain quarterbacks went to certain teams with the success that they would have. When you get stability and your coaching staff believes in you, you see how Tua's performing now. When you have a coach who believes in you, when they put some weapons around you, you're able to perform. Instead of having a new coach every year, a new offensive coordinator every year, when you get a running game, all-world running back to take some pressure off of you, you can have a little bit of success. So,
but you're paying.
Now he's the all-world. No, Tank, don't let
$2 million.
No, you ain't slick, Tank. Now all of a sudden he's all-world. Didn't y'all have him as a bust recently? With speaking on Saquon Barkley's name,
no one's ever doubted Saquon Barkley's talent. No one has ever talked. The man went he's a running back who went number 2 overall. No one has ever doubted Saquon Barkley's talent. Our only issue that we've ever had with Saquon Barkley is, can he stay healthy? The best ability is availability, and this guy has missed all kind of games. We've never doubted Christian McCaffrey's ability. The only question mark that we've ever had about Christian McCaffrey is the guy has played like 13 games in 3 years, or 2 or 3 years. So Saquon Barkley. We know that if he can stay healthy, we've seen what he could do. We've seen what the man could do. So having a security net like that, who can run the ball and keep pressure off of your $72 million wide receiver who hasn't caught a touchdown pass in 2 years that you paid $72 million to. I'm not going to mention no names or nothing, but his initials are Kenny Golladay. So yeah, I think with that, has a lot to do with Daniel Jones having a hard time when all of your major playmakers have all been injured. Sterling Shepard's been injured. Evan Ingram, I know he's gone now. He's been injured. Kenny Golladay can't stay on the field and won't perform when he is. And Saquon Barkley, a running back that you took with the number 2 overall pick, he can't stay healthy. So, you're starting to see, when people come together and are able to play together, then you start having a little bit of success.
Well, when it comes to Kenny Golladay, let's not pretend that Matthew Stafford got him $72 million. It wasn't really Kenny Golladay who got that money. Matthew Stafford got him that money.
Okay.
All right, respect it. With that being said, Giants is 2-0. Panthers is 0-2. Okay. With that being said,
you're out of here. Bye-bye.
Pittsburgh Steelers and the Patriots. 17-14. The Patriots once again relying on defense to win a game over the Wattless Pittsburgh Steelers. Real quick, your thoughts on this game so we can move on, because there's not a whole lot to talk about. I mean,
Mr. Trubisky, you better step it up, man, because when the people. When the fans, I was looking at the game, I watched the whole game, and the people in the crowd are going, "We want Kenny, we want Kenny." It's really bad because I think that I think that he's playing too cautious because he knows that he's kind of like on a. It's not a matter of if, but when Pickett eventually takes over, and if he keeps having games like that, and you're making rookie mistakes and you're checking down, you're not throwing the ball down the field, then I'm going to take my chances with the kid, So I think that's what it is, and they have playmakers on the outside, but he's not taking any shots down the field. Everything is a check down. Looks like Alex Smith 2.0. So he better pick it up, or I think within the next couple of games or so that they go to Kenny Pickett.
I think really the biggest problem the Steelers have, Marcus said it somewhat, the Steelers are just not aggressive enough. Doesn't matter if it's the running game, if it's the passing game. They have talent on offense, and I've seen Mitchell Trubisky in a semi-aggressive offense in Chicago. He can do it, but you got to be able to let him be aggressive. Najee Harris is a solid running back, but you got to let him be aggressive. The Steelers right now, they're not being aggressive. They're doing a bunch of 5-yard checkdowns. They're doing a bunch of screen plays. If it's the running game, they're pretty much running to the side, not going straight up the middle. To me, it's a situation where the Steelers are not being aggressive nearly at all on offense, and that's why they're losing games.
I just feel bad for their defense because their defense is flying all around, making plays. Even without T.J. Watt, they were in that game, and their offense just can't get it done. I mean, it's bad. I mean, I think
this offseason they got two priorities. They better get some offensive linemen. Their offensive line is atrocious too, and their cornerbacks are terrible. I mean, this one he just jumped right over the guy and just snatched the ball out the air. Just mossed him on the sideline. I mean, that was
Aguilar.
Yeah.
Aguilar hasn't been heard from since Philly.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with that?
Yeah. No, he had a couple of. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean he was in Vegas actually. I think that's where he had his most productive season.
Yeah,
actually. Was in Vegas. But,
All right. With that being said, moving on. Jaguars and Colts.
Again, when you don't have any weapons on the perimeter, I think we all here agree that Jonathan Taylor is one of the top two, if not the best running back in the league. And I'm literally watching this game, and they are putting 10 guys in the box, 10 guys. They have no respect for their perimeter players. Michael Pittman Jr. missed the game. Paris Campbell, bust. I thought him coming out of Ohio State, I thought he would be pretty good. Doolin. I mean, you got a bunch of no-name guys out there, and they're just loading the box. And, Matt Ryan, I think Matt Ryan's still a decent quarterback, but he has nobody to throw to. And Jonathan Taylor got shut down because they just are just like, we don't respect your run. The Colts are built a lot like the Tennessee Titans, who we're going to talk about here in a minute. When you don't have any perimeter threats, with them letting a guy like A.J. Brown out the door, so it makes playing defense really easy because it's like, okay, we don't respect your passing game. We know your best weapon is Jonathan Taylor or Derrick Henry, so we're just going to load the box and shut down your running game. We're going to get a lead on you, and once we get a lead on you, you can't come back because you don't have any offensive firepower besides your running back.
So when it comes to Indianapolis, this is going to be a hot take somewhat. I believe it is time for the Super Bowl winning champion, Nick Foles, to be the quarterback. I've seen Matt Ryan do the worst 2 weeks back-to-back I've ever seen from a quarterback. He cannot hit a target past 20 yards.
They will start Sam Ehlinger before they start.
They gotta go. You gotta go with the Super Bowl winning quarterback. You gotta go with the Chicago Bear. You gotta go with Nick Foles. He's gotta be the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts because Matt Ryan has been absolute dumpster juice in the 2 weeks in Indianapolis.
He has no receivers. He has no receivers. None.
Marcus, that does not matter. He has been overextending passes by 5 yards.
One, you're under duress, and two, your wide receivers cannot create any separation. You have one receiver. This past week, you had 0 receivers because Michael Pittman Jr. didn't play. So they're just loading the box against you, and your receivers cannot win on one-on-one. Your starting wide receiver was Paris Campbell and Doolin. Those are your starting wide receivers. Doolin, who would be on a practice squad on a lot of other teams. So, I just hate to see Matty Ice go out like this, but, it's just these guys, they just sign the teams and stuff. And, you got to go to somewhere that fits your skill set. You like to push the ball down the field, and they don't have no receivers.
So, Marcus, let me get this right. The guy who can put up numbers with minimum to zero receivers half the time in Atlanta after Julio Jones left is the same person who now gets another pass. Why do we keep giving all these teams passes about not having a weapon?
Because in today's game, this is a passing league. It is. There's like 3 or 4 teams that can win actually pounding the rock. That have been successful pounding the rock. That's been the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay. The thing about those teams though is when they get down, just like with the Bills game, when you get down 17-0, 21-0, 24-3, you cannot run yourself back into a game.
Right.
You can't do that because now you start running out of time. You can't give Derrick Henry 30 carries when you're down 24-3. You cannot give Jonathan Taylor 30 carries, which that's what they need to be successful. Give them 25 carries when you're down 28-7. You can't do that. So
but here's the problem. The problem isn't Jonathan Taylor. The problem is Matt Ryan. I mean, I understand that Matt Ryan has had 9 turnovers in 2 weeks.
When you're standing there patting the ball, waiting for your receivers to get open, and they don't get open, that's what happens. When you're you got to have receiver. Look, we have examples. We have. What did Dak Prescott look like before Amari Cooper? What did Josh Allen look like before Stephon Diggs? What did Tua Tagovailoa look like before Tyreek Hill? This is a passing. How did Aaron Rodgers look last week without Devontae Adams? How do you look? Not very good.
Like average quarterback.
An average quarterback.
But there's a difference. There's a difference between looking like an average quarterback and looking like the worst quarterback in the entire league. Matt Ryan looks like the worst quarterback in the league.
No, come on.
Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, let me ask you this. This will make it a little bit easier. Who has the worst receiving core? Name the 3 worst wide receiver cores in the NFL.
All right, you got Atlanta.
Is Atlanta really bad? Is Atlanta Drake London? Who else they got?
I'm not counting Kyle Pitts. I'm saying receiving core, the wide receiver.
When I say receiving core, I mean receiving options. Who has the worst receiving?
Including a tight end. Okay.
Including a tight end. Who has the worst? Where you just look, they don't have a Pro Bowler anywhere in their. Who has?
I would say. I want to poke fun at Dallas, but you got CeeDee Lamb, so I'm not going to go there.
And that's what I mean. You don't have.
I think it's Chicago.
Chicago, yeah. All right, I'll go with that. Chicago, they're there.
Okay, where does Indianapolis wide receiver core rank in the NFL?
Probably 31st.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. You're sitting up here. You're saying this man sucks. When you're a quarterback. When you're looking down the field and you're patting the ball and your receivers are just covered, okay, you're going to start taking sacks. How does and this is the thing that's beautiful about football is everybody puts in their part. You can have an all-world quarterback and a trash offensive line. Cincinnati Bengals. You got all-world wide receivers. You got an all-world quarterback and no offensive line. You got the Indianapolis Colts. An all-world offensive line, no receivers, an all-world running back. It's got to all come together because if you're missing one of the ingredients, It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So that's what the problem is. The Indianapolis Colts have two of the worst or the second worst wide receiver core in the NFL. The Indianapolis Colts.
I have them third.
Who's worse?
Chicago and Green Bay. I would have Chicago and Green Bay below Indy.
I mean,
they at least have Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb is.
I don't know.
And I'm not saying Randall Cobb.
They got Aaron Jones.
And Aaron Jones, you can put Aaron Jones. The Indianapolis Colts have no receiving threats. Michael Pittman Jr., who was injured, and a bunch of Jags, not Jacksonville Jags, just the guy. Tomato cans, Uber drivers, pizza delivery guys playing wide receiver. That's what they have there. So it makes your quarterback look really, really bad.
All right, similar to Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers has Alan Lazard. And
Alan Lazard's not a bad wide receiver. I mean, he's not Devontae Adams.
Michael Pittman isn't bad, but he's the only thing that they have in Indianapolis. Well, Alan Lazard is pretty much all you got in Green Bay. You have to run the ball 70% of the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't play ball like that. They're just going to take away. They're going to take away your running game, and they're going to be like, you know what? We don't respect your receivers. So look, Matt Ryan. People are up here talking bad about him, but that's what it really all boils down to.
I will say with Chicago though, St. Brown looks like a good wide receiver though.
And Mooney's not bad.
Well, Mooney's not bad, but he's clearly not the number one. Like the last 2 weeks,
he's the best thing. He's the best thing y'all got. He's better than Doolin and Paris Campbell.
Well, actually, here's the thing I'm trying to point out. Actually, it's not Mooney right now. St. Brown is actually who Fields is targeting the most.
Okay, St. Brown used to play with Aaron Rodgers. So he's got some skills. The Colts have one of the worst receiving cores in the league, and you can't win like that. This is a passing league now, and if you don't have, why do you think these receivers are making all this money? Why do you think these receivers are making all this money? Receiver is a premium position now. You're starting to see wide receivers going in the top 5. These guys are going up to get. Where did Garrett Wilson? How high did he get drafted? Jamar Chase. What pick was he?
He was 6th overall.
Julio Jones, AJ Green
was 6, 7 around there. 6 or 7.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. With these premium receivers. You have to these guys, and just looking at this past draft, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, high draft picks. That's the route that the league is going. What Jalen Waddle? What pick was he?
6 or 7.
You see what I'm saying? And the Raiders, they picked like Henry Ruggs before Justin Jefferson.
Whoa.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ruggs crashed and burned. So
yeah.
All right. Y'all having a whole lot of fun. I was having fun fixing some things real quick. Dolphins, Ravens. Oh, we get to talk about your Dolphins finally. Tank. Oh, there we go. There's the smile. I was waiting for this. Dolphins, Ravens. Tank, go ahead and lead us into the promised land about these Dolphins of yours.
There wasn't really much to talk about that first half. I'm actually a little bit disappointed in the defense. This past game against Baltimore, I thought we were going to show up a lot better. I thought the team played well as far as holding their own, especially going down quick 7-0. That run back, that kickoff return right in the beginning of the game. I was like, oh, no, here we go again. This is ridiculous. It's very tough to stop Lamar Jackson, let alone contain him. It's something that I thought the defense was going to fix. Evidently, they hadn't fixed it because kid's a stud. Like Marcus said earlier, before the show started, he's playing for a contract, and he's gonna really just go into a league of his own, essentially. I mean, the guy plays lights out, and again, with the Dolphins, the defense wasn't there in the beginning, but then you got to give them props because that second half, I don't know what happened in that locker room, but something clicked. And all of a sudden, now you're talking the defense is letting up, 3 points in the second half? No, I'm sorry, 10 points the second half. So 10 points in the second half. Now they're already down 28-14 at halftime. And now we change to that second half. And this is why we have 2 halves of football, fellas. And we make adjustments. And I think McDaniel, who's going to be the biggest football nerd out there, but I'm believing in him. I am believing in him because he's done something where now this team is firing on all cylinders. We started seeing it a little bit with the Patriots. It was really starting to, build and build and build. But we got the win. We got out of there, and whatever. Then I thought we were going to take a step backwards the way it looked that first half. Second half, like I said, turned it on. Tyreek Hill, amazing. Waddle's still doing what he's doing. The line, Armstead. Did you see the blocking Armstead had in that second half? This is why we paid him. This is why he is a top 5 tackle in the league. Okay. I'm just looking forward to the Bills game. I mean, that Baltimore game was a tale of 2 different halves, 2 different Dolphin teams, to be honest with you. I just hope our defense gets a lot better because we're going to really have to shore it up a lot coming in against the Bills. I think our offense is going to be there. I'm not worried about that, but we definitely have to step it up more. Howard needs to stop getting burnt. Bateman owned him. Bateman owned him in that whole game. And Javon Holland, don't even get me started. Where was Holland at all of this? You didn't even see Holland practically the whole game. I don't know where he even was. I don't know if he's sitting on the bench watching Howard getting burnt by Bateman all day, but that was ridiculous.
Are we still live?
Yep.
You're saying that we're not live.
Yes, we are. We definitely live. I think
they're saying it's a recording. Everybody's saying that they can't see us. They go, "Where are we at?"
Oh no, I just put up a new one. I just put up a new one because for some reason it disappeared. So I put up a new one. I just signed.
I will say this. I will say this. You all got the win. I will say you were lucky to get away with this win. Number one, I think you all match up better against the Bills than you do the Ravens. Also, take this into consideration. You wouldn't have came back in the second half had J.K. Dobbins been playing because they would have ran the ball down your throat. So you were lucky. You were very fortunate because once they got that lead, that's what the Ravens like to do. They like to get a lead, and then they like to pummel you to death unfortunately, their top 2 backs are out. You don't have J.K. Dobbins. You don't have Gus Edwards. If those 2 guys are playing and they get that lead, there is no comeback. So be fortunate for that. So I think you match up better against the Bills because the Bills, we all know that the Buffalo Bills cannot run the football. So you were fortunate. Styles make fights. Styles make fights. You have 2 good corners to go against Gabe Davis, to go against Stephon Diggs. I don't think you all are worried about Devin Singletary as you would be concerned about a J.K. Dobbins or a Gus Edwards.
But I have to disagree with you there, Marcus, because I thought the same thing beginning of the season about the Buffalo Bills running the ball. They've fixed some things.
They don't run the ball. They do not run the ball. The Buffalo Bills.
They might not run the ball as good as a lot of other running teams.
But that matters. That matters though when you get a lead. And you just hand the ball off to Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins.
I get it.
And there's the Buffalo Bills. Devin Singletary hasn't had a 100-yard game since when? That's not what scares you about the Buffalo Bills.
So no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I'm not saying that they can't run the ball.
Your team is built more to go against the Buffalo Bills. Byron Jones, Xavier Howard, Holland, guys like that. This is not meant to sit up there and play ground and pound smash mouth against those AFC North teams with big backs, like a Joe Mixon, like a J.K. Dobbins, like a Najee Harris, that's not how y'all's defense is built.
No, but we also need to have Jalen Phillips and Ingram show up too, because we need to create that pass rush, especially against the Bills, and that hasn't been there.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, for that defense and how good they were last year, at least in that second half of the year, where they were killing people.
Yeah.
Where is it? That's all I'm saying is, where is it?
Yeah. I thought Lamar Jackson. I think y'all got caught off balance because a lot of people out there believe that Lamar Jackson cannot throw the ball. I've told people for years that he can. He just really hasn't hit perimeter weapons out there. His best weapon has been Mark Andrews, but we're starting to see the development of Rashad Bateman, which is why he was a first-round pick. He was injured most of last year. You see that he's healthy now, and he's a threat. He is a threat. So that pass defense better tighten it up real fast, because you got the Bills coming into town. Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs, McKenzie, Kumaro. This guy, he's out there, playing ball.
Right?
Jamison Crowder, Dawson Knox, Singletary out the backfield. So you did what you're supposed to do. You came back. People who say Tua can't. Who do we say again is leading the league in passing yards? Because people kept telling me that Tua can't throw the ball. I ain't gonna mention no names or nothing, but there's a lot of people out there that said Tua can't throw the ball. He don't have no arm. He's got a noodle arm. That's all that I've been hearing. So we'll see what happens.
So, and I agree with that. I mean, and I think Tua's proven a lot of people wrong. However, you do still see Hill having to come back a little bit, right? You do see that.
Yes, he is.
Tua's dead on. He can throw some nice balls, but when he's taking 40, 50-yard shots down the field, you're seeing Hill kind of turn and be like, oh, okay, I got to come back a little.
Well, there's not a lot of receivers like Hill. I mean, there's maybe 3 or 4. There's maybe like 3 or 4 guys in the league that got the arm to overthrow Tyreek Hill. Josh Allen being one, maybe Herbert, and maybe Aaron Rodgers. Maybe 4 or 5 guys. Patrick Mahomes. There's only a few of them that have the arm. This guy has otherworldly speed, and you got two clones. You got 2 clones built basically the same way with that type of speed. So good luck. Good luck to that secondary this week. Can't wait. Can't wait. What Mark Scott say? Can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah,
Rams and Falcons, 31-27. Falcons almost came back from 28-3. Rocco, you've been sitting idle for a second. Your thoughts on this Rams-Falcons game?
It would have been the most symbolic comeback in NFL history. The Falcons coming back from a 28-3. It would have been symbolic. It would have been ironic. It would have been perfect. But yet the Falcons didn't do it, so whatever. The Atlanta Falcons are a definition of never getting anything right.
Marcus.
Yeah.
Marcus.
The Rams were embarrassed. The Rams were embarrassed, and they came back, nearly lost the game. Once again, you start to see chinks in their armor. No real number 2 receiver. Cam Akers has regressed. He's been in the doghouse. But Jalen Ramsey comes back, makes an incredible play at the end, and they win the game. It could have ended very badly, but they won the game. You did what you're supposed to do, and you came back and won the game. That's it.
Tank has emptied the place after talking about his Dolphins. All right, moving over to the 49ers and Seahawks, 27-7.
The Seahawks, they are who we thought they were. Geno Smith trying to get a trademark. they wrote me off, but I didn't write back. You're Geno Smith. You're Geno Smith. Let's not forget you're Geno Smith, who's been a bust in the league. And, you're going to do Geno Smith things. So, it's what I expected. He had one good week. Anybody can have a dead clock is right twice a day. He had his game. He had his Buster Douglas moment, and he goes back to being Geno Smith. That's what we expected. He is who we thought he was.
49ers are going to be exactly what I thought they were going to be. Now you have Jimmy G back. Now you have your quarterback back.
Told you should have paid him.
Because you have your quarterback back, the San Francisco 49ers, not only am I having them winning the NFC West, I'm keeping on to my prediction I made all the way back in May. That Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be going to his second Super Bowl. I made that prediction back in May, and I'm going to stick with it.
Get out of here with that.
I'm going to stick with it. Back in May, I have the Buffalo Bills beating the San Francisco 49ers in the Super Bowl. I said that back in May, and I'm going to keep with it.
No.
So who's coming out the NFC? Tank?
I got Philadelphia.
Okay.
Philadelphia looks they look very impressive. Jalen Hurts got me a lot of fantasy points.
Jalen Hurts, that's nice. He's played against two subpar teams, and you guys are riding this coattail already.
Look, I'm not just gonna dismiss the Bills as being the AFC representative of the Super Bowl, but I don't know.
This week is the litmus test game. This is a big game. If y'all
don't stop talking, we ain't got to it yet. Can y'all stop going to y'all done went back to that about 5 times. Can we finish these games first? We're gonna get to the Bills game in a minute.
Let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals. Because let's talk about them. Let's talk about them looking like they're frauds, and they shouldn't have been there last year, and how they just look like they luckily just hit some kind of luck and made the Super Bowl last year. Let's talk about Cincinnati, because they're bad. They're a bad team.
They're not. Cincinnati's not. Cincinnati is again. I'm gonna say, hey, it's my Cowboys. The problem with the Cincinnati Bengals and all last year, Marcus, I told you so. When they drafted Jamar Chase, I said Jamar Chase was a luxury pick. Do you know who in my mock draft, when me and Mona did our mock drafts, do you know who I mocked to them?
Penei Sewell.
You build your team through the trenches. You can now. I get it, and they came out last
to the Super Bowl with no trenches,
and they lost. And now your quarterback who in his rookie season tore his ACL, came back, won comeback player of the year, and now he's on pace to be sacked 100 times this year. He's been sacked.
I love the sports talk, sir. I love that you said that, sir. But I'm so glad that these two teams is what we talk about right now. How was it? And I need you to answer this with the utmost sincerity, sir. Before I start throwing out some X's around here, because I heard some Excalibur type of comments earlier. I let it slide. But, sir, how did the Bengals in that hard-hitting AFC North that you talk about so greatly, with no trenches, make the Super Bowl when your Dallas Cowboys, sir, with the trenches involved, couldn't make a Super Bowl?
Okay, once again, who's playing? What do you mean last year? Or are you talking about now?
I'm talking about the last couple of years, sir. Marcus, the alphabets. Y'all have had the trenches and haven't been able to make a Super Bowl. And the Cincinnati Bengals made a Super Bowl without no trenches last year, getting sacked left and right, sir.
Let me answer that. That is not a model for sustainment. You are going to get your quarterback killed we have seen quarterbacks in history. David Carr. Anybody remember David Carr? Houston Texans. Sacked the most in history. How many times is in 2 weeks? In 2 weeks, Joe Burrow has been sacked 14 times. 7 sacks a game. You can't sustain them all. Which is why, once again, I said that they should have drafted Penei Sewell. He would have been going into his second year, a little bit seasoned. Jamar Chase, as incredible as Jamar Chase is, it doesn't matter how incredible your wide receiver is if your quarterback is getting smacked on every play. Guess who's leading the league in sacks right now, Torch? Micah Parsons. Because your offensive line is atrocious. And you got more defenses coming. And you have a target on your back, so everybody knows now you spent all this money on your offensive line, and you have the most sacks in the league. Your quarterback is on pace to get sacked 100 times. So you go ahead, you draft a wide receiver like that when you really need an offensive lineman, and see how that works out for you.
Well, really 2 things I have to say is, first off, you lost to Cooper Rush. That should be an insult in itself. But secondly, I mean, you talk about Cincinnati Bengals. Look, they made it to the Super Bowl last year. Cowboys haven't made it to a Super Bowl as long as I've been alive. So if you really want to talk about winning a Super Bowl and really getting to a Super Bowl, I don't think Cowboys fans can really talk. You haven't been there for the last 2 decades.
Okay, I got you. I got you. You're quick to talk about how long the Cowboys haven't been in the Super Bowl. When did the Bears? Let's do the Super Bowl shuffle. That's the last time y'all were. That was what, 85?
1985.
Super Bowl shuffle.
The last
you
time
were in the refrigerator, Perry.
Hold on.
You're not here to start no trouble. We just want to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
Hey, Marcus, get your facts right.
You're not here to cause no trouble.
The last time the Bears have been in a Super Bowl was 2006. They've been in a Super Bowl as long as the Cowboys have.
And you lost.
Yeah, we lost.
Look, if getting invited to the prom and nobody dances with you, and you don't get to leave with the girl at the end of the night, don't even go. Going to lose. You know what you are. You know what you are. You want to know what you are. You're the NFC. You're a lesser version of the Atlanta Falcons. You go to the Super Bowl and get your teeth kicked in. So going to the Super Bowl and losing, just going to the Super Bowl, I would rather not go. It's like that old saying, is it better to have loved and lost to never loved it all? I would rather not go to the Super Bowl. I would rather not go to the Super Bowl than go to the Super Bowl and lose. I saw my
the Cowboys don't go for the next 40 years. You're okay with that?
Sure, as long as the Bears go 3 more times and lose 3 more Super Bowls. But who's further along right now, the Cowboys or the Bears? Who's further along? And you would think with having
at least the Bears, I mean, maybe they don't do as much.
You know what? I'm going to say this. At least the Bears know the NFL rule book. Unlike the Cowboys who tried to gun it down with 10 seconds left in a playoff game.
Hold on, y'all. Those last comments definitely deserve a round of applause right here on Monday Matters. Round of applause.
And saying that they haven't gone since you've been alive. You just start getting chest hair and your breath still smells like Similac. So that's not saying much, okay? You're not that old. You're not that old, okay? I see.
Wow.
When you're saying they haven't gone since I've been alive, and you're just now growing facial hair. That's not saying that. That's not saying.
Well, first off, Marcus, I can actually grow a really big beard, but I have to shave it for work. So.
Okay, I got you. It looks good, Rocco. It looks good, man. I'm messing with you. But no, look, the Cowboys have some talent. They have some talent. And the games that they win going forward, all joking aside, their defense, let's keep it real. Their offensive line, they had problems with their offensive line. their defense is legit. Micah Parsons is legit. Trey Diggs is legit. DeMarcus Lawrence is legit. So they're having to change their style of play and play. The defense is going to have to carry the load because for many years the offense has been carrying the load. You put a lot of resources onto the defensive side of the ball, and I'm making an early prediction. Micah Parsons, Defensive Player of the Year.
All right.
This game is not going to look so ridiculous at the end of the year when he has like 20 something sacks. It's not going to sound so ridiculous. The Bengals, for all of their offensive firepower, their offensive line, we just talked about terrible wide receiver cores. Well, I will say the Cincinnati Bengals have one of the worst offensive lines. They have a bottom 5 offensive line. They're terrible. And the scary thing for them, Torch, you were saying about you were saying about, in the AFC North, you got to deal with Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, TJ Watt is going to come back. Alex Highsmith, good luck with that. I just hope, I don't wish injury on anybody. You're going to get Joe Burrow killed. If they don't find some kind of way to fix that, they're going to get Joe Burrow killed. And we've seen good young quarterbacks get ruined. A guy like Andrew Luck, we saw his career end early because he got beat up so bad. By the time they finally got a guy like Quentin Nelson, he was so beat up, he's like, I'll retire. Man, retired at 29 years old. Retired at 29 years old because he's getting beat up so much. So they better fix it.
Yeah, with that being said, let's move on to the Titans and Broncos. Obviously, he said, save the peach fuzz, bro. He said, damn, Marcus on fire.
We just joke, man. I have the highest of respect for Rocco. I love him. Rocco knows I would have
It's funny that Giuseppe's talking because I saw his comment about you're welcome for Jack Eichel. I didn't want Jack Eichel in the first place, Giuseppe. I don't know why you're saying you welcome. I didn't want him in the first place. So, go ahead, Giuseppe. Thank you. By the way, you're welcome for Alex Tuck. How about we do that way? You're welcome for Alex Tuck, Giuseppe.
Round of applause. I will be going to see Alex Tuck on next Tuesday, the day after my birthday. The Sabres.
I'm calling it now. He's going to be the future face of your franchise.
Alex Tucky. I call him Tucky. We all call him Tucky out here. Yes, Tucky is really good over here. We thank you very much, Vegas Golden Knights. Cheers to that, sir. And I'll take a drink.
Giuseppe, I think I made a mask for him a couple of years ago. Who's this team?
The Bruins.
The Bruins. I think I made a mask for him a couple of years ago. My hockey.
You got Dylan Cousins, you got Tage Thompson. Look, I understand that, but to me, Alex Tuck, he's the future of your franchise.
Tuck, yeah, they got Cousins, Ted, Dallin. We'll get to hockey a little later. Let's finish talking about these games. Denver Broncos and the Houston Texans. Come on, 16-9. Once again, you paying $200 and some million for Russell, $245 million for Russell Wilson's performance the last 2 weeks in Denver. 14 for 31, 219 yards, an interception, and a touchdown. That looks like $45 million down the drain.
Well, it doesn't help when Judy's hurt.
Judy was playing last week and they looked worse.
Well, I think with them, they need to run some more play action because to me, really the strength of that team is their running game. I believe you got to feed Javonte Williams, you got to feed Melvin Gordon, and then you take some shots down the field. Oh Lord, here we go. Here they go with that nonsense. Patrick Law, I need you right here. I need you right here. Bills have the best team in the NFL?
Hold on. That's not what I was saying about. Did y'all hear Ryan Clark's comments about Russell Wilson?
No, what did he say?
He said the Broncos is not ran by an elite quarterback. Okay.
Well, here's the thing. I'm trying to see where the what's wrong about that.
Oh, what? Oh,
Russell Wilson's not an elite quarterback.
No. Like, here's the thing about Russell Wilson.
Okay.
There's a reason why. And by the way, my family's from Seattle, so I get pretty much firsthand conversation about this.
Okay.
There is a reason why he was not only booed when he went to Seattle in week 1. There's a reason why pretty much everybody in Seattle hates Russell Wilson. Because not only does he give up on the team, which he did, he gave up on them a long time ago. Not only did he want to get traded, which he did, but when it came to Russell Wilson, you saw his stats last year, you saw the stats 2 years ago. Russell Wilson has been doing this over the last 2 seasons. He's been going downhill every single year since 2020. And, people keep talking about him with all this guaranteed money with Denver. He's already being booed, and it's not even 2 weeks in. There was literally boos being heard in Denver during the Texans game. So, as much as I want to talk about Russell Wilson and the fact that he put this situation into place, like he literally put himself here, I actually think there's one person you got to blame more. There's one person you got to blame for Denver being absolutely bad.
Go ahead and say Nathaniel Hackett.
And that is the guy who was the offensive coordinator in Buffalo and sucked. There was the guy who was the offensive coordinator in Jacksonville and sucked. The guy who was in Green Bay and rode off the coattails of one of the best quarterbacks of the modern era, and that was Nathaniel Hackett.
That's
Nathaniel Hackett shouldn't have been a head coach. I said that when he got signed. He shouldn't be a head coach. He is not a head coach of caliber.
Awful.
He's
not a head coach.
Awful.
With that being said, I agree 110%. I didn't think Nathaniel Hackett should have been a coach either. But moving on.
DeAndre, he agrees with you. He goes, I blame Nathaniel can't hack it. He's the worst. Wow.
He's the worst. Cardinals and Raiders. Raiders 0-2. Uh-oh.
Raiders are garbage. I said that preseason. Garbage. I don't care if you got Devontae Adams or not. I don't care if you have
Devontae Adams, 2 catches, 12 yards. Wait a minute, Tate. What was all this talk about? Supposedly it's all good going from one Hall of Fame quarterback to the next. What was all this talk I heard? Ooh.
Not from me.
Catches 12 yards.
That was not from me.
Well, see, Andre, with me being from Las Vegas, me being from the sports entertainment capital of the world, the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, here is what I saw from that Raiders game. When Kyler Murray could be a ballet dancer and he could spend 15, 20 seconds running around in the pocket, doing whatever the heck he wants, you're going to lose that game. When Justin Herbert in week 1 could spend all the time in the world just taking a stretch, eating a bite of a sandwich, there was no pressure on Justin Herbert. There was no pressure on Kyler Murray. Understand the Raiders spent all this money on extending Max Crosby, getting Chandler Jones, getting Rock Ya-Sin. Like, all of this talent got brought into the Raiders system, and they have only had 1 sack for the first 2 weeks.
And that 1 sack was on Kyler Murray.
And only 1 sack.
Okay.
And 1 sack was on Kyler Murray.
And Derek Carr doesn't get any of this heat.
Derek Carr gets a little. I'll give credit. Derek Carr should get a little bit of the blame, but the main problem and the reason why you blew a 20-point lead is because your defense can't get to the quarterback. Your defense can't get pressure to the quarterback.
I agree with that because I did watch some of it. And on top of that, if you look analytically at these stats definitely tell a story. Nobody. Max Crosby was the only one who got to Kyler Murray and once last week. The only one.
It also seemed incredibly winded towards the second half as well. I don't know
what happened to Chandler Jones? What happened to Jonathan? What happened to all these other guys that they got on this team? Jonathan Hackett. I mean, Max Howland. I mean, I see nobody. Nobody. It's not even close.
Josh
You also have to look
Josh
at
McDaniels. Do you guys remember what he did in Denver? He did nothing in Denver. It's
he
Josh
drafted Tim Tebow in the
McDaniels.
first round. He drafted Tim Tebow in the first round. He drafted Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow in the first
That's what I'm
round.
saying. It's Josh McDaniels.
I don't think Derek Carr is a very good quarterback either. Who's the highest paid person on the team?
Davante Adams.
No,
actually, it might be Derek Carr. Actually,
it is Derek Carr. He's like the number 3 paid player in the league.
No
I think
way.
Yes, way. It's Aaron Rodgers.
Derek Carr.
Russell Wilson.
Derek Carr.
It's Aaron Rodgers. It's Russell Wilson, and it's Derek Carr. He's number $47 million a year for Derek Carr.
Cheers. Hey, you know what? All that gambling and all that they got in Las Vegas, they can afford. They can afford that. The casino
Derek Carr is the Kenny Galladay of quarterbacks. He's a Kenny Galladay of quarterbacks.
No, you didn't say that.
Yes, I did. I said it.
No, you didn't. Marcus, I actually agree. I actually agree with you.
He's a Kenny Galladay of quarterback. That's what he is. The man has he's never had a receiver. Okay, we're gonna go give you at the time when they signed him.
Wait a minute, he never had a receiver. Time out. Didn't he have Amari Cooper? Wait a minute, he never had a receiver.
Yeah, but that's the excuse that they were making for him. He's never had. He
didn't have Jordy Nelson.
Jordy Nelson was kind of at the end, but now we go and get you.
Marcus, I love how y'all say that. Wait a minute. I love how y'all say Jordy Nelson was damn near at the end when the year before Jordy Nelson had over 1,000 yards in Green Bay.
Okay, and we've seen guys crash and burn after 1 year. Anybody remember what Peyton Manning?
Marcus, you know what though? You know what? Yeah. I would agree with that only if I haven't seen the Raiders just choke up a bunch of receivers. Oh, they choke up every receiver damn near that comes to play for the Raiders.
They pick the wrong receiver.
I got one even better for you. Davante Adams ain't gonna have 1,100 yards this season. Ooh-wee. Hot take. 1,100 yards. Davante Adams won't have.
And you know, Torch. And you know something, Torch. I can't even fight you in this one. I can't fight you in this one. I can't fight you on this one, man. I can't fight you on this one. Look.
Hey Andre, you want to hear something really, really interesting?
Yes.
When it comes to the cap hit for the Las Vegas Raiders, Clelin Ferrell has a bigger cap hit than Davante Adams.
Yeah, I just saw that. I just was looking at that. That's amazing.
By the way, their 5 highest paid contracts in order.
Rocco, you know what? I'm gonna blame this on you.
Darren Waller.
You should have been. Rocco, we blaming this on you. You should have been right in that meeting room with them Raiders when the Raiders.
But here's the interesting part about it. So you have Derek Carr and Darren Waller. Okay, that makes sense. Clelin Ferrell, Davante Adams, Colton Miller. Those are your 5 highest paid guys.
Mm-mm. And not just that, Rocco. Their past number 1 draft pick since 2018, none of them are on the team. None of them.
Zero.
Except Josh Jacobs. Except Josh Jacobs. Clelin Ferrell. Anybody remember who Damon Arnett? The guy who had a 3rd round grade on him that they drafted number 16 overall, Damon Arnett.
The worst.
Henry Ruggs, who they drafted over Justin Jefferson, over CeeDee Lamb.
They swept him. Hold on, Marcus, you don't even hear about him no more. They swept him right under the rug, literally. Okay.
You drafted Henry Ruggs over Justin Jefferson.
Andre, don't kick in my dark sense of humor. I could just make a crash and burn joke, but I ain't gonna do it.
Please don't. Please don't.
I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna go there.
Speaking of which, we talking about jokes. How about the Bears in the Packers game?
I don't know why people are looking at me. I had them losing by 14. I know who the Bears are. They're gonna win 4 or 5 games.
My man Justin Fields. I mean, he be out there in the field. Justin Fields.
let me say something. I want to say something though, because a lot of times guys they get a bad rap, and we can all hindsight is always 2020. But now I think we have enough evidence to make some corrections. Okay. 2020 draft, and that's just 2 drafts ago. Mm-hmm. Number 3, the San Francisco 49ers should have drafted Justin Fields over Trey Lance. The Bengals should have drafted Penei Sewell over Jamar Chase. The Falcons should have drafted Jamar Chase over Kyle Pitts. And it's a domino effect of picks. There's just people were picked in the wrong place.
I mean, if you really want to go there, Marcus, which we most definitely can, I actually disagree.
No?
Yeah, so Jamar Chase is in the wrong place.
If I'm doing the draft order correctly, I'm keeping Trevor Lawrence at 1. He was the most hyped prospect coming out of college, so you keep him at 1. I'll go Justin Fields at 2. I think the Jets actually would have taken him at 2. And then I go with Davis Mills at 3. To me, Davis Mills has actually been one of the best quarterbacks to come from that draft class.
You know what? I can't. I think in the system though, Justin Fields with the 49ers weapons, he's what they thought Trey Lance could be. He played at Ohio State as compared to North Dakota State. I think if Justin Fields had gone to the 49ers, now you don't have this fiasco with Trey Lance where they're trying to rush him out there. The kid was raw, and they rushed him out there. He can't read a defense. He didn't put, he's relying just on his athleticism in college. Justin Fields if Justin Fields with the 49ers, I don't think that they would have redshirted Justin Fields over like they did Trey Lance.
Well, actually, if we go one step more, Micah Parsons probably would have gone top 2 if you could redraft the NFL. Micah Parsons probably go top 2.
Yeah, don't try to take Micah Parsons away from me.
No, I'm just being serious, Marcus.
I don't like that.
Micah, he would either go 2 to the Jets or he would go 3 to the 49ers. If we were redrafting it, he'd probably go 2 or 3.
If Micah Parsons had went, but see, they were looking at quarterback of the future because they were trying to get rid of. You have to understand, if they have Justin Fields, they're able to in free agency. They're not having to spend money on Jimmy G. They can let Jimmy G go and instead of paying him the $18 million that they're paying him now, they could be using that towards defense. So if they have Justin Fields, he's on his rookie contract. And you don't have to have an insurance plan with Jimmy G. You can let Jimmy G go and maybe get some draft capital back.
Yeah.
All right. With that being said, y'all know what happened. Packers 27. Bears 10. That's all that matters. That is all that matters.
Packers are going to hang their hat on that one. Who's the
owner? I thought Virginia McCaskey was the owner of the Bears. It seems to be Aaron Rodgers. We need to check. Make sure he's paying his taxes. I think Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears instead of Virginia McCaskey.
Owns the Bears. Okay, owns. They own.
But you know something, Rocco? I'm going to say something. The Bears, y'all are trending in the right direction. I like you want to win the game. In the words of Herm Edwards, you play to win the game. By the way, he got fired. You play to win the game.
Right. He got fired in the end zone.
Arizona State, I got you. You want to win the game, but if you can't win the game, what you want to do is you want to learn from certain things. I think you got your franchise quarterback. You have an all-world running back. You have some pieces on the defense, and next year you got over $100 million.
Wait a minute! Whoa!
Marcus, what are we doing here? They're trending toward the basement. Like, what are you talking about?
Man, they're trending toward the basement.
Chicago Bears.
Say what now?
We're talking about the Chicago Bears. They're trending.
They have some pieces. They have some. Listen, where do you rank David Montgomery? If David Montgomery was hang on. If David Montgomery's on a team with some other weapons around him,
he would be just inside the top 10.
He would be a top 10 back.
He's not. No.
No, he's around 9 or 10. David Montgomery.
If you put,
he's a middle of the pack running back. He's probably top 15.
If you put David Montgomery on the Buffalo Bills with the weapons that they have on the perimeter,
I don't want him.
No, I mean I understand what Marcus is saying.
Dude, you got Devin Singletary. Stop it! Don't act like you got some elite all-world back.
I don't care. I still don't want him. I still don't want him. I still don't want him, Marcus. I don't care. I think
Montgomery is a better back on New England than he would be in Buffalo.
Who's that?
Yeah.
I think Montgomery would be a better back in New England.
Thank you. Put him in the right system, Tank. Thank you.
He's a pass catching power back. He's a poor man's.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. I gotta do the Marcus thing now. Montgomery, right? According to you, Montgomery is top. What top? You said all world, right? I just need clarification.
Okay,
you have him in the top 10.
I said with the Bears, you can't see his potential with the Bears because they have no weapons. We have the best running back in the game. What was Jonathan Taylor's line this week? Anybody got it? What was Jonathan Taylor's line?
It was less than 50.
No. I need it. What was Jonathan Taylor's line this week?
Less than 50.
Let's see. Somebody give me Jonathan Taylor's line this week. What was Derrick Henry's line this week? The two best backs in the league. What was their line this week?
1 to 5.
25 yards for Derrick Henry or Jonathan Taylor?
No.
And how much for Jonathan Taylor?
Jonathan Taylor.
And what do we think of Jonathan? And what do we think of Derrick Henry?
That is not the question I asked. All I'm asking right now is straight up. Is David Montgomery top 10 to you? Regardless.
David Montgomery is an outstanding running back on a terrible offense.
Right, outstanding running back, right? Give me a rank, Marcus. I just want Marcus to give me a rank,
and then
Marcus.
You put Forte on another.
Okay, I got another one. Okay, I got another for you because I'm going to bring it all together. Bear with me. Humor me on this. What do we think of Najee Harris? What do we think of Najee Harris?
He's a solid runner.
Najee Harris is just a solid runner?
Well, no, he's
Najee better than David Montgomery.
David Montgomery was a first-round pick. He's not a bad running back. He's on a terrible. Matt Forte. Before him, Matt Forte was an awesome running back. He played for the Bears. His talents were wasted.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But when Forte was with the Bears. And this is your thinking because Matt Forte, Montgomery, Forte left Chicago. He wasn't that great.
I know he is. Giuseppe, I want to. So watch this. Forget the question.
Wait, hold on. What's the question? I'm sorry. I started tuning out after you were talking about.
I'm not avoiding the question. I just said he does not get to show his potential because he plays on a bad team. Running backs are very dependent. They're very dependent. If you put them in the wrong situation, Marcus,
I got a perfect one for you.
I'm not avoiding the question.
Hold on, Marcus. I'm gonna just do this. This is what we're gonna do. Ready? Okay. You said world renowned, and then you said he'd be a top 10 back with who you said Buffalo at first, and I said I don't want him because he don't fit the system.
You don't get you have Devin Singletary. Don't act like that.
Don't fit the system. They don't fit the system. It don't matter. That don't matter. That's not the reason why I'm saying that. I'm saying is because
Devin Singletary is an average running back.
Right, but he wouldn't fit the system. Devin Singletary fits the system for the Buffalo Bills, average or not. Now, so here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say these running backs, and you tell me where you put David Montgomery at. Okay. Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon. Hold on, no. I'm naming them all. Ready? Okay. Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, Austin Eckler, Dalvin Cook, Najee Harris, Nick Chubb, Alvin Kamara, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley.
Hold on.
Okay.
Saquon Barkley. Leonard Fournette. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Leonard Fournette. Melvin Gordon.
Nope.
Oh, hold on. What's the Kareem Hunt?
Kareem Hunt's pretty awesome. He's pretty awesome.
So once again, I just named all those running backs. Where do you put David Montgomery?
He'd be the worst of them. But here's the question. I get where you're going with this, but here's the question. Here's my retort.
Go ahead, Giuseppe, and call again. I'm sorry.
What would happen if you put? Hang on, but let me ask you this: what would happen if you put Dalvin Cook on the Chicago Bears? What would happen if you put Joe Mixon on the Chicago Bears? What would happen if you put Saquon Barkley on the Chicago Bears? Would they be the player that we are that we are now?
So here's what I'm gonna say to that.
And you know what this takes us to, Torch, and I'll let you respond. This takes us to the Emmitt Smith versus Barry Sanders debate.
Oh God,
that's
the
right.
The guy who had phenomenal stats, who played behind an all-world offensive line, and the guy who played with no offensive line, who put up great stats. What would now? Let me ask you this, because you're saying, well, who's better? Look at their stats. Now, let me ask you this.
I'm just saying Barry.
What would happen if you put Barry Sanders behind the 90s Cowboys offensive line?
Still going off the path of broken question.
Call it.
Hold on. Let me call him out right now, because the question was, the original question, is he a world-renowned running back?
Yes.
That's not what I said.
Hold on. Let's go back to where you wound up saying, put him on the Bills where he has an offense. After you just wound up saying about a half an hour ago where you said the Bills aren't a running team anyway because they don't have anybody to run the ball.
Thank you. That's why I said
put him on that team if you're calling if saying that we don't run the ball?
Thank you, Giuseppe.
Because okay, I'm going to answer your question for you. That's
what doesn't make any sense why you would put that dude on the Bills if we don't run the ball.
That's what your damn problem is. That's why you lose a game in 13 seconds, because you can't run out the clock at the end. That's why you'll lose this year, because you can't run the ball and maintain. That's why you cannot maintain. Do you want to know? Hang on. Do you know why the Ravens lost the game to the Dolphins?
Let's get that straight.
Oh, damn!
What did he say?
Damn!
What did he say?
He said,
even make it out of a round robin if the NFL had one.
Oh shit. He said the Dallas Cowboys is the Toronto Maple Leafs of the NFL.
If I watch hockey, I would probably get the joke. Nobody watches hockey but you, so you know I don't really.
I'm sorry, joke. Marcus. What did you just say?
Right?
Hockey,
yeah. What did you say, Marcus?
Most American. Hockey is me and you, we've had this debate before. Hockey is the probably the fourth or fifth most popular sport in the United States. If you want to watch hockey, go to Canada. You want to watch hockey, go watch it in Canada, okay? Most of the United States does not care about hockey, okay? Just for the record. But anyways, so let me retort this. Now, instead of drafting Gregory Rousseau, and you have Najee Harris last year against the Kansas City Chiefs, what happens?
What happens?
Yeah. If you have Najee Harris in that game last year, when you're up and you can't run the ball, you can't maintain the lead. Do you know why we run the football at the end? Why do we run for a guy who watches more hockey? Hang on, for a guy who watches more hockey than football, Tank. Why do we run the football at the end of the game?
Run the clock.
I'm not dead, Dom.
I'm just saying. So again, part of the reason why the Buffalo Bills, the Buffalo Bills. I don't know how we got to Buffalo. I don't know how we got to the Buffalo Bills, but here it is.
A couple years ago,
the reason that you cannot win a championship is because you cannot run a game. You cannot.
I said to Andre, I said Singletary is not the answer to the Bills. He is a straightforward runner, cannot find the hole
and he's small. He's a small dude. The way that you run, do you know the Chiefs, who you guys can't seem to beat? Do you know why? Do you want to know why the Cincinnati Bengals beat them? Do you want to know why? Hang on. I let you talk. Let me talk. Do you want to know why the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Chiefs last year? Do you want to know why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the brakes off of the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? Do you know what they did to them at the end of the game? What did they do to them at the end of the game, Tank?
They ran the ball.
They ran Leonard Fournette down their throat, and that's the Buffalo Bills' issue. You don't run the ball. You have this high flying offense and all of that. At the end of the game, you have to pound the rock and play keep away. And that's why you've had issue with teams until last night, why you've had issue with teams like the Tennessee Titans, who ran through you last year, like the Indianapolis Colts, who ran through you last year, like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Leonard Fournette, who ran through you, like the Pittsburgh Steelers with Najee Harris, who ran through you. At the end of the game, you have to be able to run the game. And until you get that, you got all of these different backs. You got Zach Moss. You got Devin Singletary. You go and draft a guy even smaller than Devin Singletary and James Cook and wonder why at the end of the game you can't close the show. You got to be able to run the ball at the end of the game.
I got to agree with you there, Marcus, and that's why I think that Buffalo almost prides themselves on jumping out really early and
can't close the show. And
that's what's going to be the problem against Miami, because there could be a shootout that happens.
I can't hear what he's saying.
Like you just got slapped upside the head, Torch.
Yeah, I don't agree with that team. But go ahead.
Listen, the last two games the Bills have played, okay, you're saying that they jumped the gun and wind up getting points and putting it on the board. The last two games, when did they put the majority of their points up on the board? After the half.
Let me answer it. Yes, you did. Do you want to know why you did that? Because you're playing one-dimensional offenses. You're playing the Tennessee Titans are a one-dimensional offense.
Did you watch the game last night?
Of course I watched the game. Do you know why you beat the brakes off of the Patriots? Do you know what? I watched the game. Do you know why you beat the break? Do you know why you beat the brakes off of the Patriots in the playoffs last year? Because the Patriots are a dimensional ground and pound offense.
Okay, so Marcus, then what was the excuse about the Rams then?
The Rams issue is they have offensive line issues and they don't have a number 2 receiver. So what happened was, hang on. So what happened was Cooper Kupp, because Cooper Kupp got, how many yards did Cooper Kupp have?
100. He had 128. Yeah,
he had 128 yards, and the next guy had 20 yards. You played one-dimensional. You played one-dimensional offenses. You played one-dimensional offense who don't have the offensive firepower to come back on you when you get down. When the Titans get down, there is no running the ball.
Let me ask this question, because we're going to talk about the Bills in a minute, and I'm going to play some clips in a minute. You telling me that the Miami Dolphins is a one-dimensional team too coming up?
No,
they're not. No, they're not.
Oh,
no, they're not.
Where are you going with that?
Tank. Sir.
What has been the issue? What has been the issue with the Buffalo Bills? What has given the Buffalo Bills over the past few years? What's given them the most problems? What's given them the most problems? I will tell you the two things to watch because I've watched every one of their games. Power running teams and teams with speed. Kansas City Chiefs.
Tank.
You're missed. You have no Trey White. And now the kid, and again, I'm not congratulating him.
Marcus,
go ahead.
Marcus, love you to death, but
okay.
Tank, I need to get real close to the camera. Tank, yeah. You sure you want to go on that again and say y'all not a one-dimensional team? Because I'm like 2 seconds from pulling your running back card from last week and the week before too. Go ahead. Tell me how many yards rushing y'all had last week. Go ahead.
We didn't need to use it. We didn't need to
You
use
didn't
it.
need to use it.
First of all, no, because first of all, we had to come back just this past Sunday.
No, sir.
So
that's real cute. No, sir. I like how you just trying to smoke screen it up.
But hang on, but you're still listening.
No. Let me say this, Marcus. Okay. Nah, you didn't use it because it didn't work in the beginning, sir. Let's not lie. Y'all got y'all boots smoked trying to run the football in the first half, sir.
No, that's not what happened. What happened was the Ravens
5 yards of carry in that first half.
The Ravens jumped on. The Ravens jumped on.
What are you talking about?
The Ravens jumped on them. What was the first half score? The Ravens jumped on them. What you want them to run the ball when they're down by 3 touchdowns?
Again, Marcus, I'm going to specify this. Hold on. No. Wait a minute. No.
Always like to create some kind of like mystique about, why this or why that.
No. Nice try, sir. I see where you try to get up out of this, but I'm about to just pull your card real quick, right? So, So the run was working in the beginning of the game, huh? So let me tell you. Mostert had 1 run, 2 runs, 3 runs. Hold on, 3 runs. Oh, that's right. Intercepted. 4 runs. You know how many yards he had in the first half? If we talk about runs,
he was like 4 for 20, wasn't he?
Mostert's not the starter.
Mostert was the starting running back in that game.
Okay,
I thought you were watching, sir. Yeah, he was.
No, he's not listed as the starter. Chase Edmonds is listed as the starter.
Okay, well, guess what? Chase Edmonds wasn't starting in this one. Mostert was starting because Mostert got the first 8 carries in the first half. 28 yards, sir. 8 carries, sir. Nice try. Don't even do it.
You're acting like the Ravens don't have a good defense.
No, what I'm acting like is that run game wasn't working. They were trying to pound the rock early, and that shit wasn't working. They was getting 1-2 booted off the field, and here comes Lamar Jackson. Shoot, touchdown. Oh, you want to keep running? Boop, get him off the field again. Shoot, touchdown. Bro, stop the cap right now. Y'all had 86 total rushing yards for the whole game. The whole entire game. How many did y'all have a week before?
Behind almost the whole game. Actually, we were behind.
How many yards you had a week before?
We were behind the whole game.
Marcus, tell him to answer the question. I want you to answer the question.
I got you. When you try to run, you don't just keep pounding keep pounding your head on the. You don't just keep pounding your head against the wall if you can't run the ball. But once again, like I said,
don't want to admit that this three-headed running back system that they thought that they had that was supposed to be so great ain't been so great the first 2 weeks. Just say it ain't been that great the first 2 weeks.
Look at the two defenses.
The Buffalo Bills they're going to find something real quick. And that's the Miami
Dolphins. We're going to find real quick. Hold on. Before we get into this bill, what is the Bills?
How about this? Hold
on. You know what I just thought of? Wait a minute. You know what I just thought of? Marcus the alphabets. And I gotta quote you on this too, sir. While you sitting over there with that damn star above your head every day a week. Every day a week on this show, you got a star sitting right above your head every week, sir. sir? Wasn't I the one that told you when Jordan Phillips came back that all that running Derrick Henry was doing against the Bills was going to cease again like it was before?
You're a one-dimensional team. You're playing a one-dimensional team.
I love the one-dimensional excuse.
One-dimensional team. Yeah.
Go ahead.
You jumped. So you want them to run Derrick Henry when y'all didn't punt the whole first half.
Didn't run the ball, right?
Hold on. Listen to what he said.
But Phillips got hurt, and he was gone in the second half. We didn't have Ed Oliver out there because he was hurt. And who else wasn't out there, Dre? That didn't play the majority, pretty much the whole second half. Von Miller.
All three
of those guys were not out there in the second half.
I'm just wondering.
Von Miller was irrelevant that game because the Titans don't. The Titans
17-7, and those three guys were not out there. Two of them got injured, and then on top of it, Jackson got hurt. What in the second quarter?
I can't.
Second quarter, Jackson got hurt. So pretty much our whole entire second stringers were out there.
Matter of fact, Marcus did not bet on the show that Derrick Henry wasn't gonna have it.
Not me. You might have, but not against me. But I picked. Look. We do picks on my show every week. I picked you.
Wait a minute. I got you, Marcus. I just want to ask this question: how many rushing yards y'all think the Miami Dolphins gonna have next week against the?
What is this? Can y'all
We're gonna go 150 yards.
Can y'all see that right there?
Rushing? Oh, I know. You picked the Bills. I know.
35-17.
150 yards
rushing. Wait a minute. You must be talking about the language. Rushing. No. You must be talking about the language. You're not talking about rushing the football. What?
I don't. That's not. Look, I'm going to make my picks later on. Me and Rock. But I wasn't. I don't agree with it. I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I think that the way that the Dolphins are going to beat the Bills is I believe Mostert will have 70, 80 yards and a touchdown. He's going to break a long run on you. I will say that. Also, I will say that Waddle and Hill have field days on your secondary. They're going to have field day on your secondary.
Let me remind you once again that you said that week one, and we all know what happened with that. Week one, and we all know what happened with that.
Here's the difference between the Rams wide receiver core and the Dolphins wide receiver core.
Right? Watch this. Okay, so watch this. I'm about to tell you. Watch this. I'm about to tell you exactly. I'm gonna tell you exactly if Buffalo's smart, how they would beat the Dolphins. Ready?
Well, when his Buffalo,
I'm gonna tell you. Ready?
Give up a 13 lead.
It's real simple.
Okay.
I make the Dolphins run the ball. I make them run the ball.
Hey, that means
okay. Hang on. Time out, Tank.
Well, 150
to make them run
that on the Bills.
If you back everybody up, if you back everybody up, Tua is an intermediate thrower anyways. This is the game that Mike Gesicki would have a good game. This is also if you're backing everybody up, you're giving Mostert all of this space with his 4.3 speed to get to.
Oh no, Marcus. All I'm saying is that you rush the front four. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying back up nobody. I'm saying you rush the front four. Oh, by the way, were you not watching yesterday's game? Because there is something that needs to be definitely duly noted. The linebackers made plenty of plays in pass coverage last night.
I got you. They're not. You're playing against Treylon Burks and Robert Woods. That is not.
You mentioned intermediate route runners, right?
Okay, I got you. Who are your Torch? Come on now. I get it. You live in Buffalo. I know all of these Buffalo.
No, that ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm telling you right now.
Who are you starting? Just answer this question for me. Answer this question for me. Come Sunday, who are your starting cornerbacks? Answer that for me, please.
Oh, you know. The guy that we got, hold on, I'm going to tell you. The guy with world-class speed in Kaiir Elam.
Okay.
Who runs a 4.3.
Okay.
And Christian Benford, who I feel once again in the last 2 weeks has
put him on Tyreek. Put him on Cooper Kupp and Traylon Burks are not Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Okay,
again,
Cooper Kupp and Traylon Burks.
You missed two different teams.
No, I'm not missing anything. I'm saying you're saying look at what they did.
Mixed.
No, I think you're missing the level of receiver. Yeah, I think you're missing the level of wide receiver as compared to what you've been playing against what you're going to see.
Torch.
Okay.
By the way,
just remember, Torch, what I told you preseason. Didn't I say this? And you do this whole I got it on wax. I will play it back. Mm-hmm. Well, play me back when I said the league's gonna find out real quick who the Miami Dolphins are.
Oh, I heard that. I gave you respect,
They're
though. I gave you respect.
Miami Dolphins.
I gave you respect. I gave you the respect.
So Buffalo was gonna see who the Miami Dolphins are.
When you see this right here, when he's burning past your safeties, because we saw your safeties were hang on. Your safeties, both of them played. Your best safety tandem played against the Chiefs.
Oh, don't do this.
the best safety tandem. And you remember what Tyreek Hill did to him when he turned a 15-yard slant and he did this right here and he's waving to them, burning past them. Do you remember that? Now you got two guys with 4.3 speed. You got two guys with 4. And everybody, Tua, he can't throw the ball. He doesn't have to throw the ball down the field. He can throw a 15-yard slant and they take it to the house.
Go ahead, Rocco.
I'm telling you, you're going to see. You're going to see.
So I have been very quiet.
Come on, Rocco.
Letting y'all do what y'all do. All I'm gonna say is if you have Tyreek Hill going up against a rookie in Elam, Tyreek Hill is going to expose your rookie.
He's gonna torch that.
And by the way, you're gonna have Benford going up against Waddle. Hey, Andre, I want you to listen very closely.
Here, I'm gonna give you the sign right there.
If both of them don't have 150 yards against Benford and against Elam,
just remember, all this is on wax. I want you right.
I was very quiet. I was also very quiet on the David Montgomery thing because I was just letting y'all talk.
Just like you're everybody tune into the Alphabets football show. Tune in. I need you right there. When Tyreek Hill is throwing up the deuces, running past him.
Watch this.
Marcus, hold on.
Wait a minute. When the Bills throw up this again, when the Bills throw up the W again, I don't want to hear nothing next week. I'm telling you, I'm going to record. I'm going to make sure I got this clipped. Or they going to have 150 yards apiece.
Well, by the way this conversation
150 yards rushing.
I'm gonna die laughing.
With this whole conversation starting on the Bears, that's how this all started, by the way. Just keep in mind the Bears have $141 million in cap space next year. So, me being a Bears fan, I am not upset if we lose 13 games, 14 games this year. Because we have $141 million in cap space now.
And may have more than that because I think that you let a guy like the defensive end that we had,
Robert Quinn's going to be gone.
Robert Quinn's gone. And you may lose Roquan Smith too. So,
wait a minute.
He's the only question.
Watch this. And guess what? You know what else they got in Chicago? A lot of bush.
They got some.
A lot of bush in Chicago.
I don't know if I told you this.
Because you got $141 million that the Chicago Bears is going to do right by that $141 million, you got a better chance of the Chicago Bulls doing right with $141 million than you do the Chicago.
Well, Andre, you know who our general manager is, right? You know who our general manager is?
Oh, I know exactly who y'all.
The former Bears offensive lineman, Ryan Poles. You know, the guy who went. Yeah. Well, I've seen interviews with him, and he's a very smart, very intelligent man. He knows football. He knows it inside and out.
Y'all better off putting that $141 million in the Soldier Field.
Hey, when you have a general manager who knows football, who actually
for a better roof, for a better roof.
Well, first off, never put a dome on Soldier Field. Do not do it. That would be a sin against humanity. Okay. Do not put a dome.
The Chicago Bears have been a sin against humanity.
Hey, Andre, putting a dome in Chicago would be like putting a dome in Green Bay. You just don't do it.
Oh, that's okay. Y'all need a dome. No, y'all need a dome. Y'all need a dome. Somebody need to put the cap on y'all because y'all been capping for a long time.
Hey, Andre, watch this. Watch this. You're making jokes. I get you. You're making jokes.
I'm just saying.
You might be saying, well, hon, you might be saying that we need a dome, but, you need to have Aaron Rodgers win an NFC Championship game.
You know what? That's right. He do. You right about that. He definitely need to win the NFC Championship game. I'm sick of him. His too much the bear. I'm sick of him. His bush. Dude, I'm sick of him.
He doesn't pack enough heat in the NFC Championship game.
Nah, I'm sick of him and that shit. You better believe that. But here's what I will say. This is all I'm gonna say. While y'all talking about Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, and this is all I hear. All I know is I see a whole lot of this going on. Hold on. Miami Dolphins. When the Miami Dolphins play the Bills, I see a whole lot of this going on. Hold on. Let's see if we can get this up there.
Howard's back there and pick that off.
Okay. All right.
I'll tell you what, Torch. I'll tell you what. If Buffalo wins on Sunday, I will send you a 6-pack of Land Shark beer. But if Miami wins, then you owe me a 6-pack of Oktoberfest. How's that?
Your mic is off, Fab.
Not mine, right?
Dre, your microphone's off.
Hey, question. Am I supposed to get the inside joke? I'm completely lost.
Oh, hold on. Time out. Let me stop this real quick. Let me stop this. There's no joke about that. There's no joke about Stephon Diggs torching the tuna cans. Okay. There's no joke about barbecue tuna. Okay. Last I checked. Don't act brand new, Tate. Do I need to bring out the stats again for you? Like I said at the beginning, do I need to bring out 9-1? 9-1. Oh, no. You stay out of this, Cowboys fan. No, you stay out of this, Cowboys fan.
Oh, no, I got to jump in the Green Bay Packers fan. I got to jump in here.
We talk about the Bills, and we talk about
Torch, y'all are comparing the old Dolphins. It's like whenever it's like what was y'all's record against the Patriots? What was y'all's record against the Patriots before Josh Allen got there?
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you. You ready? I got the answer. Yeah. It was like every other AFC East team's record.
Okay, I got you on that. So this saying that is like you're pulling up like clips. Tyreek Hill wasn't there. Why don't you pull up some Tyreek Hill video versus the Buffalo Bills secondary with Trey Diggs? Why don't you pull on some of that?
I think I got that. I think I have one.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. With who? With Trey Diggs.
With Trey White. I'm sorry. With Trey White. with Trey White.
Time out. Marcus.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to do that. The reason why you don't want to do that is because with Trey White playing, they beat the Chiefs in the regular season, sir. What are we talking about here?
Okay, but I'm saying you beat in the regular season, and you got what about that previous postseason? No, but what about the AFC Championship
postseason that they lost?
Yeah. What happened there? When Mecole Hardman roasted him, it wasn't even Tyreek Hill. It was Mecole Hardman that roasted his ass.
See, we have short memories. Trey White.
Yeah. He roasted Trey White. Yes. And y'all act like Trey White coming back. You are aware that he tore his ACL. Cornerbacks.
You are aware that people come back from that, right?
What's that?
You are aware that players have come back from that injury, right?
I got you. Cornerbacks are a little bit different when you're having to go through back pedals.
All right. We gonna see. We
gonna see.
Wait a minute. Watch this. You know what's so funny? Because Trey White ain't playing in Miami this week coming up. But Trey White will be back for the next time Miami sees Buffalo.
I hope he is.
And we gonna see.
Okay.
Real quick.
We gonna see. But in the meantime, Benford and whoever, and Kyer Elam, that's who you have out there this week. Okay? So that's he's not here trying to show.
Take trying to show video. Look at Tank. He think he's slick. He over here playing videos. Hold on, who is that? Sean McDonald. He's so funny. He done pulled up the Bills and Chiefs. Listen, he ain't playing with the Chiefs. Stop playing. He on a whole different. You know what? I can't wait till Sunday. You talk so much.
Hey, Andre.
I can't wait. All three of y'all gonna feel sorry come Sunday. I can't wait.
You know what, Andre? As long as the Bills win by 5.5, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. You better.
As long as they win by 5.5.
Miami always covers.
Get the backpedaling real quick. You better backpedal 5.5. You better backpedal. You know what's coming. I don't even know why listen. Okay, all right. Listen, I know what
all I'm saying is that if the Bills score a touchdown late in the game, it could be 45-38 for all I care. But
listen,
as long as they win by 5.5, that's all that matters to me.
I know what negates speed. Something that Marcus don't want to admit.
What's that?
Pass rush, sir.
Okay. You're right. You got to get there, though. You got to get there, and guess you got to get there.
Wait a minute. Did you just tell me they got to get there? The Bills been getting there. What are we talking about?
You're playing. You beat Traylon
we about to turn
Robert
Tua into tuna fish.
Okay.
Tua is going to turn into tuna fish this week.
I got you. I'll be here.
Watch this. I'll make a prediction real quick and real easy. Ready?
Okay. What's that?
4 sacks at least on Tua come Sunday. At least 4.
And he might. And he might. But I'll tell you what. Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill both have 100-yard games.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Listen,
they both have 100-yard games.
Listen, the Dolphins rush for 150 yards.
I just don't want to hear this. Okay, I just don't want to hear this shit about, well, the Bills played nobody and the Bills got the best defense in the league right now currently too. I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
Hey, does anybody have any big upset they have for next week? Like a big upset? Like big upset?
Oh, it won't be Miami.
I got one for you.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I got the New York Jets beating the Cincinnati Bengals.
Ooh, I actually will jump on that too. The Jets, Jets. I will jump. Matter of fact, the Jets will be in second place come next week because guess who gonna lose this week? Why y'all talking all
Oh
that?
my God! I can't even believe that they're going to be tied with the Bills.
It's hilarious. Joe
They're going to be tied with the Bills.
Yeah, no.
Right.
They're going to be tied with the Bills.
No, they not.
I can't believe Miami going to be 3-0. 3-0.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, I was either going to be the Jets beating the Bengals or the Jaguars beating the Chargers. That's going to be my two upsets.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead. Just that.
You want to know what would be even here? And I think would be a big upset is that Giants-Dallas game, and the Giants win on Monday night.
Yo, you know
Oddly
what?
enough, I
can
actually
see that
have the
happening
Giants
too.
winning that
Look at Marcus' face right now. Marcus is thinking about it too.
I got to pick them. Anybody can say anything on the air. You see what that Dallas defense looks like? Daniel Jones will be running for his life. He has no weapons on the outside. Okay. Micah Parsons 3 sacks in that game. You heard it here first. Micah Parsons 3 sacks in that game. And Trey Diggs and
the New York Giants win by a field goal next week.
I don't see it happening. I think it could get really ugly with the defense. They have no defense.
You believe in Cooper Rush, huh? You think Cooper Rush can't
get
I don't.
This? No, I don't. But who I believe in, I believe in Tony Pollard. I think Tony Pollard's going to have a field day.
Oh. I just want to know how y'all going to touch something when Daniel Jones going to hand off the ball to Saquon Barkley probably 20, 30 times next week.
Yeah.
Against that defensive line. I'm just wondering.
The person I really feel bad for is somebody that we know. I feel bad for Ramona Diehard because, man, I got Cleveland winning that game. I just don't have Pittsburgh. I just don't got it.
Well, we just saw what they did to the Bengals. The Bengals ain't what they. Oh, that's the Thursday game, huh? That's a Thursday game.
Yeah, you being real nice, and I respect Ramona Dye, but what you scared to say is that the Pittsburgh Steelers should be 0-2 right now. Don't lie.
The Steelers should be 0-2. No, their defense.
Man, hold on. Watch this. Wait a minute. Whoa. You telling me
correction? They need to be 0-1-1.
So Evan McPherson misses field goals from 30 usually? No, hell no. That happened because the strings was in front of. They got lucky as hell that them strings was facing Evan McPherson when he kicked that field goal and he missed it. You know damn well Evan McPherson don't miss field goals from 30. Cut it out.
Chris Boswell don't miss a bunch. It was like neither team wanted to win that game.
But the Bengals could have closed out on them at the end of that game, and they did.
Well, I mean, we're talking about this. I mean, Mason Crosby missed like 5 field goals against the Bengals last year. I mean, when it comes to accurate kickers, Mason Crosby has been missing field goals, and McPherson's missed field goals. Like
he missed
every kicker in the league except for maybe Justin Tucker.
Oh yeah, too.
Can miss. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, we had fun. There's a whole lot of talk going on. Listen. Go ahead, Giuseppe.
No, we haven't signed on to them. Early in the morning for work. It's always a pleasure coming on the show. And
yo, I can't wait till Sunday. I want them right here.
Marcus, me and you have had it out a couple of times and always had a good back and forth. Rocco, man, me and you go back since friggin' Rise Up started. So, I mean.
Oh, yeah, by the way, you need to add me on Facebook.
Going back and forth. It's always a good show with all you guys.
Yo, he said add him on Facebook, Giuseppe.
Yeah, I think me and you
are you going to have a show? Are you going to have a show after the game? Or are we going to have
after the game?
We're going to have to wait until Monday to take that ass.
No, listen. So remember, Waffle Sports Report is at 6:00 on Sunday, sir. Don't worry.
I'm not making excuses, but it's my son's 7th birthday on the 25th. I will not be around. That's my
Monster on. I want you on.
Monday.
Marcus is going to be on.
Oh, and I need Ace the MVP in here too. I need.
Oh my God! Ooh-wee.
Ace MVP needs to be here too.
And Mookie. Where's Mookie?
Oh,
by the way, I need to say one thing.
Mookie too.
Yeah. Hey, Andre, I need to say one thing real quick.
Mm-hmm.
With how busy my schedule is getting, and with all the hours and all the stuff I'm doing, this, it's probably going to be one of the last times I'm on Rise Up, because like my schedule just keeps on getting busier and busier. So Andre, Marcus, Tank, Giuseppe, everyone watching, man, this was a great time, man. So I appreciate it.
We're doing a show. Rocco's going to come on the Alphabets Football Show. He's going to be doing the Alphabets Football Show with Mona on Friday, and I'll be on Rocco's show on Saturday night. So we'll be chopping it up again.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, me and Marcus, yeah.
Nice.
All right, well.
Everybody, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. It's nothing but love out there. Make sure, if you haven't, get your pick'em sheets in by Thursday. I'm giving away $100. Whoever wins the picks, my pick'ems challenge. Get in there. You can still. It's only week 2. I seen people come back. They hadn't did a sheet. Get your sheet in there. Mona has the sheet posted up. Join the Alphabets Football Show group. Subscribe to Alphabets Football Show YouTube channel, and come in there, talk football with us. Join us on Friday night, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Rocco's going to be substituting for me on Friday night, making their predictions, and make sure y'all tune in on what time is it on Saturday, Rocco?
So Saturday it's going to be 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Mountain, 10 p.m. Central.
Oh, that's another thing too. On Saturday, just a little bit. We got Baby Tua in Maryland, my alma mater, going in the big house in Michigan. That might be an upset. That might be an upset.
By the way, Baby Tua beat the UB Bulls week 1 in football.
You know it.
Yeah, that was ugly.
Make sure y'all tune into junior college football too. My alma mater is number 1 in the country. New Mexico Military Institute, the number 1, the defending national champion junior college, and the number 1 team in the nation at junior college, at the junior college level. Make sure you check them out. They're on ESPN Plus, so they're pretty good, man. They haven't lost a game.
I got to ask this question. I got to do this. So the New England Patriots was able to keep y'all to 1 touchdown. 1. Week 1 in Miami, and y'all had Jalen Waddle, and you had Tyreek Hill. I'm just wondering, what difference do you see in New England's defense that you ain't gonna see from Buffalo?
Here's the thing.
I'm sorry. Week 1 is what? Preseason game number 4. Oh yeah, we're just trying to figure it out.
How did Aaron Rodgers look week 1? How did Aaron Rodgers look week 1? How did he do week 1 with all brand new receivers? How did he look?
Okay. So so we using that statute. All right, that's fine.
I'm just saying. When you have a brand new coaching staff who's trying to implement,
Torch. Why are you coming at me like that? Why are you coming at me?
No, because they make so many. How did Stephon Diggs look in his first game in Buffalo? Did he come out and blow the doors off his first game in Buffalo? How many yards? His first game with the Buffalo Bills. How did he do game 1? Did he have 100 yards?
The first game actually, I think he had 106 the first game he ever played with Buffalo. Yeah, 106.
Okay.
And that was in 2020?
I want to say that was 2020.
2020.
86
2020
yards,
was COVID.
9 catches at 86 yards.
Oh, that's what he had. Okay. That's not bad.
You're trying to get into the system. It's the game. It's the first game. You're trying to figure out what your place is. I believe that the Miami Dolphins. I'm not a Miami Dolphins fan. I just go off of what I see. I believe the Miami Dolphins are one of the most explosive teams. That's taking nothing away from the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills. We saw what said Stephon Diggs cooked. He cooked them boys this week. And this was without Gabe Davis. He got all the targets. 3 touchdowns. Cooked them boys. Barbecue.
My point that Tennessee's secondary once again is trash. That's why they got beat by the Bengals too, like I said before, because they couldn't stop the Bengals when they should have. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
we're gonna see. There's a lot of questions that's going to be answered. Your number one defense, are they really the number one defense? The Miami Dolphins, are you really legit? There's going to be some.
We're going to see, because I'm going to tell you now, mind you, y'all keep mentioning y'all keep mentioning Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Now, just remember, Gabe Davis is coming back this week. Gabe Davis. No one has any doubts about your offense. We all know what the Buffalo Bills offense is. You have one team. So y'all think, so at the end of the day, if we talking about offense versus offense, y'all think that the Miami Dolphins is going to get more stops than the Buffalo Bills going to get next week?
I believe that the Miami Dolphins have a better secondary than you. Neither one of you all are prolific running teams. But I think that I like Chase Edmonds and
Miami. Wait a minute. Time out. Miami has a better secondary than Buffalo.
Yeah,
that doesn't include safety play, correct?
No, that means your whole safeties and corners. You have two all-world safeties. Your corners are garbage dumpster juice, and they're going to get exposed.
How? Marcus, wait a minute. Whoa. How disrespectful. This is where I have my disconnect with you, Marcus. So the one game that the Kansas City Chiefs had erases the whole entire season last year.
About last year.
No. You said garbage dumpster juice, Marcus. I made sure I listened
this year. I'm talking about right now. Without Trey Diggs, without Dane Jackson.
Listen, hold on. Dane Jackson is actually questionable. Actually, he's not out.
I don't think he's going to.
Even if he don't play, Marcus.
Let me ask this question. Let me ask this one question. Buffalo is ranked where? I know they're first in offense. Are they second on defense? I think they're first
number one.
Number one.
Wait, I thought Tampa Bay was number one on defense.
No,
they have the least amount of points scored. The Buccaneers have allowed 13 points.
Okay.
The Buccaneers have allowed how many points?
Was second
13.
On defense and first in offense.
Okay, wait a minute. The Buccaneers has allowed 13.
You all are the number one. You all are the number one defense as far as yardage.
Total defense, yes. Total defense, we are number one.
The Buccaneers have allowed.
Buccaneers are number one in points per game. Correct.
But just to make sure I'm correct, the official defensive rankings, they use the points, right? Not yardage. They normally use.
No, they use yardage, sir.
They use yardage? Oh, okay.
Yes, they do. They use yardage, sir. Yes, they do. Let me tell you why they use yardage. Let me tell you why they use total defense. Because you can give up 300, 400 yards and only allow 7 points in a game. Do that mean that you're really the greatest defense? No. That just means
by that logic, aren't the Eagles number one offense then? By yardage? Isn't the Eagles number one then? No, when it comes to total offense.
I'm just saying. This is where my disdain comes in, and it's sports talk, so I love it. But are we holding every team by the same metric? Because if we holding every team by the same metric, then all that shit that I just seen the Eagles do in 2 weeks means absolutely nothing, because they played garbage dumpster juice teams 2 weeks in a row. And the Minnesota Vikings showed exactly who the hell they really is last week.
But this is the game where you're playing against a legit offense.
Okay, so
watch this. All I'm gonna say, Marcus, once again, Marcus, all I'm gonna say once again, and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna preface it this to make sure that it's on wax. You can get this clip too. You go ahead and clip it just in case if you want to. All right. You telling me that the Miami Dolphins is making more stops than the Buffalo Bills next week? You better think about that twice before you go ahead and jump on this bandwagon.
I cannot wait.
This is what I'm saying, and I want you to record this. Stylistically, styles make fights. The Miami Dolphins constructed their team specifically to deal with the Buffalo Bills. They went and got 2 elite corners on the outside to make.
And neither one of them have been, besides Xavier Howard's 10 interception season, neither one of them has been elite for real, for real.
Okay, and besides Gabe Davis's 6 phenomenal playoff game that he had last year, who he had 35 yards, he's better now. But Gabe Davis ain't did squat until that playoff game. So stop it.
Hold on, time out, Marcus. Gabe Davis had Gabe Davis had one of the most phenomenal playoff runs as a receiver.
He was known for that one game. He was known for that one game. He
was known for both games back to back, Marcus. Nice try.
35 catches all year.
Again, hold on, Marcus. I already told you about that 35 catches thing, which once again, Gabe Davis is proving you wrong week after week with that 35 catch crap that you talking.
I got him on my fantasy. He said he's doing good. And he said one game. He said one game. He said one, and then was injured last week. We will see. We will see this week when he's lined up.
Let me just tell you this. Hold on, watch this. I want to tell you this. I want to tell you this because I don't think you knew this. Gabe Davis could have played last week. They purposely sat Gabe Davis this week just so he can be ready for them. What did you call them? What corners did you call them again? Say them again. Those all-pro corners that you talking about in Miami? Bro.
Yeah, you don't think they are?
All right. No, not against the Buffalo Bills, they ain't. Not against the Bills, they ain't. Please don't act like the Bills haven't seen those same corners the last 2 seasons, sir.
Okay. Have you seen both of these wide receivers?
No, but we've seen one. Oh, yes, actually, but we haven't seen them at the same time.
Yeah, that makes a difference. That makes a difference. That makes a difference. That makes a difference.
And again, all I'm gonna say is you got to make more stops. You got to make more stops than the Bills.
And all I gotta say is
the Bills have not only proven that they can stop offenses this year so far, but they've shown that they can't be stopped either. How many punts the Bills got this season?
Okay.
How many punts?
So let me say this real quick, Andre. So I looked this up just to make sure I was correct. If you go by points for, the Bills are second on defense. If you go by yardage, the Bills are second in defense.
Who's
so
number
when it comes
one?
To yardage, the Bills are second.
Who's number 1 in yards?
San Francisco. San Francisco is number 1. So when it comes to yardage, San Francisco is number 1. If you go by
we'll
points,
take number 2 and 2. We'll take 2 and 2. That's fine.
Now, if you go by team offense, if you go by points for, the Bills are first.
Wait a minute. Time out. Hold up. Who did the San Francisco 49ers play the last 2 weeks?
They played the Chicago Bears and Seattle Seahawks.
And you want to tell me that the 49ers is number 1 in defense after playing those 2 sorry-ass teams?
Hey, Andre, I'm just pointing out the facts. You were saying the Bills are number 1. Well, I'm just saying that when it came to yardage and when it came to points, they're number 2.
Rocco, that's facts. Hold on, right? We talk about caliber teams. That's what we've been talking about. We've been on the same metric. We talk about caliber teams. Are they the same team, different team, right? So I'm going by that same metric that I've been hearing this whole show. You telling me that the San Francisco 49ers who played the Seattle Seahawks, Tank, don't sit there and look. Don't look like that, because your Miami Dolphins would have dropped 30 on the 49ers too. Hello. They'd have dropped 30 on the 49ers. Straight facts. Okay.
We will in December.
Mm-hmm. So, sir, they played the Bears and Seattle. 2 of the
However, I did realize that
worst teams in the NFL this year. Wasn't they both projected to be the worst teams this year in the NFL? The Seattle Seahawks and the Chicago
Seattle
Bears?
is projected to be the worst team in the NFL. I think.
Where was Chicago? Not they was.
No, I think Chicago's ranked in the bottom 5. They're not ranked.
Oh, okay. They real close. They close in proximity. God, they real close. Tell them they real close in proximity, ain't they?
Hey, look, as a Bears fan, I know that they're in the bottom 5, but hey, you got $141 million in cap space next year.
So you play the worst, supposed to be the worst 2 offensive teams, and you number 1 compared to the Bills playing King Henry in week 2 and Cooper Kupp and that Rams Super Bowl team offense in week 1? No, sir. I'm going to say the Bills Rams is still number 1 if I got to go by that metric. If I got to go by those
first
metrics.
Off, we're talking about the Buffalo Bills. You have a Titans team that is massively overrated. I mean, this Tennessee Titans team is going to be one of the worst in the NFL.
They still got the best runner in football.
Nope, he's not the best runner in football.
Oh, he ain't no more. Well, he probably won't be this year. But come on.
When it comes to all around runner, like pure talent wise, it's Dalvin Cook. But anyway,
what? Whoa!
When it comes to pure talent, it's Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is one of the most talented running backs in the NFL.
Injury. You know what? Dalvin Cook got another talent too, being injured every damn season. Mm-hmm.
Hey Andre, you just proved my point though. Yeah, he gets injured a lot. If he wasn't injured,
better than Nick Chubb. He's better than Nick Chubb.
Talent wise, yes. Yes.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Tank.
That's why I keep saying, if it wasn't for the injuries, Dalvin Cook would be top 2 would be top 2.
Tank. Yeah, Tank. Okay, listen. All I'm gonna say is this, Rocco. That's a good debate. I'm actually gonna put a poll up on that. I gotta put a poll up on that because that's actually a good poll. Nick Chubb or Dalvin Cook. I will put that poll up. I got to put it up. Regardless, though, I'm just saying the 49ers played those 2 sorry-ass offenses, and you got them as number 1 compared to the Bills, who blew out both teams.
First off, it's not me that has them at number 1.
I'm just saying. You said I'm going by those numbers, right? We talk about the numbers being skewed. Sir, if they would have played the Miami Dolphins in week 1, the San Francisco 49ers would be probably 15th in defense.
Once again, I'm not doing hypotheticals. I'm just letting you know that based off of the first 2 weeks.
No, I'm not doing hypotheticals either. Hold on, watch this. I'm not doing hypotheticals either. Let me break it down. Fact: Seattle Seahawks offense suck. Tell me when I'm wrong, Tank. Tell me when I'm wrong, Tank. Seattle offense sucks, right? Chicago Bears offense sucks, right?
All right.
The Rams offense was number 1 was what? In the top 3, top 4 last year? The Rams.
Where they are this year?
Right. They were the Super Bowl champs, right? Super Bowl champs.
I mean the guys with a Super Bowl hangover? You mean those guys?
Facts. Number 1, right? The Titans who have one of the best running offenses in the league, Derrick Henry, right? Tell me when I'm lying. Tell me when I'm lying at this point, right? Right? So you taking those elements compared to them elements that you just brought to me, and you telling me San Francisco's defense is better than Buffalo's? Go ahead. I beg to differ.
I'm not saying that San Francisco's defense is better than Buffalo's. I'm saying that they've allowed the least amount of yardage in the NFL, which is true.
I would too. Matter of fact, Tank, could you imagine at this point what you've seen in 2 weeks? And I know you a Miami Dolphins fan, but we can see the eye to eye on a couple things. Me being somebody who covered the Bills. Would you tell me what would the Bills do if they played the Chicago Bears and the Seattle Seahawks week 1 and 2 from what you've seen? Don't even do it, Tank. A shellacking.
I think a 50 spot would be good on both.
I mean, they put up a 40 spot on the Titans in 2.5 quarters.
That's right.
Okay. 2.5 quarters, right? You sure?
I mean, I'm gonna be fair. Yes, do I have the Bills as the best defense in the NFL? I do. But would I have the 49ers in the top 3? I would. To me, the 49ers, they have a top 3 defense in the NFL.
Okay.
In my opinion, it's going to be Buffalo.
Right. I mean,
Buffalo, San Francisco. I like Jacksonville, by the way. Jacksonville, they upgraded their defense a lot this offseason. Yeah, That pretty much would be it. Yeah.
Hey, can I give some props to the Bills offensive line real quick? Even though Bobby Hart got suspended for hitting the coach, can I get a Bills some props on the offensive line?
I go right ahead.
You know how many times Josh Allen has been sacked? Oh, I see him. You know how many times Josh Allen has been sacked this season?
Once.
There you have it. And that was late. He took that sack.
That was late. I know,
it was late. He took that sack on purpose too, because there was nothing else to do. Like, listen, yeah. All right. All I'm gonna tell you is I can't wait. This Sunday is gonna be a whole lot of fun. Tank, my birthday is Monday. Just to let you know.
Well, you about to have a coming out party. Coming out of a loss.
He gonna be
Wait a minute. Why would he care though? Aren't you a Packers fan though?
I am, but you know I cover the Bills. Stop this crap. Why y'all always do this?
I know that you cover the Bills, but it's like, hey, you a Packers fan. I think they should be first in line. You know?
First in line for what? What the hell they got to be first in line? Listen, I'm a realist too. The Packers been playing dookie, booty juice. Hello? Just because
Are they going to beat Tampa Bay this week? That's all I want to know. Are they going to beat Tampa Bay?
Are they going to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week? Are you fucking serious? Did you really just ask that question?
No, it's just straight up question. Are they going to beat Tampa Bay?
You know what the answer to that question is.
I don't know the answer. That's why I asked.
Okay, well, okay. You don't need Blue's Clues. I'm sure you can tell.
Blue's Clues.
What do you think my answer to that question is going to be, Rocco?
Man, it's very tough. Very tough.
Read it.
Blue's Clues, definitely.
Right. Read my face.
I think you're going to go with the Packers. Maybe.
Yo, you know what's so funny, Take? I just thought about it. It probably would be really hard to read my face. Because I could say, of course I'm taking the Packers this week, right? I could say that. Man, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is about to beat them this week. I'm sorry. From what I seen they did with Chicago, let's be clear, okay? What I seen them do with Chicago does not give me an indication that they are going to be able to. After what I seen with Minnesota in week 1-2, and that defense, Tampa Bay has a stout defense for the most part. Who in the hell gives you a buzz at the receiver position going against Tampa Bay? I'll wait. It damn sure ain't Sammy Watkins, even though he had a game against your team. He gives me nothing unless they run the ball 50 times with Aaron Jones and somehow are able to control the clock.
Yeah,
they getting beat by 10 this week, and I feel bad. And that's just me being a realist. I'm not biased. The Packers gonna get beat by 10. They got them as 1.5-point favorites, Tampa Bay, and I don't know how. I'm still trying to figure out how. And it's in Tampa.
By the way, I know we've been talking about football for the last, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. Shout out to Aaron Judge, by the way. 60 home runs.
600.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Albert Pujols coming up. I won't say Aaron Judge, but you ain't mentioned Albert Pujols. Sir.
It just popped up on my screen. Why would I talk about one? Aaron Judge, because he got 60. So
you better talk about Albert Pujols. You better talk about Pujols, who about to get 700.
He's 2 away. We'll see.
He gonna get it. Watch. He'll get it by the end of the season.
Well, I mean, if people keep on doing fastballs down the middle, then yeah, sure. Yeah.
Aaron Judge is gonna be a Red Sox next year.
Nope.
Oh my
God. I got one better for you.
Unbelievable.
I got Aaron Judge heading back home to LA.
Ooh.
I don't think they can afford him.
Yeah, they can. Trey Turner's not going to be there no more. You replace one superstar with another.
You think Hosmer's going to go to the Red Sox?
Maybe.
Because there's a lot of talk up here about that too.
Yeah. I don't know. I just got a feeling that the Angels and Dodgers.
Why, man? Why?
Okay.
Why?
All right, Fox.
Need it back.
All right.
On Sunday, do the gritty dance on Sunday. How many times?
I mean, he can do the gritty, but the gritty king is in Minnesota. So,
what did he do last week?
no, I'm just talking about if you want to know, if you want to see somebody do the gritty for real, that's Justin Jefferson.
I know. Justin Jefferson is the gritty king. He wasn't looking like a gritty king last week. He wasn't looking like that last week.
Every receiver has a bad game, man. Every receiver.
Bad game. Bad game. Yeah, Darius Slay looked like he was in prime shape for him last week.
You know, he's still my pick for offensive player of the year. He's still.
Tank, you over here trying to show videos again? Look at you. I see you. Look at it. Hold on. He's showing the dog. Let's look at his Dolphins. Just look at his Dolphins stuff. Look at this guy. Let's see what he got here. We having a good old time right now. Josh Allen top plays against the Rams. Yeah, go ahead. That's gonna be a whole hell of a lot of plays. Look at this shit. Just look at this shit here. Look at this shit.
Garbage.
You know what I'm really surprised about, Tank, is that you haven't shown Josh Allen getting sacked by Josh Allen.
Well, right here. How about this one though? This was pretty good. Nice job. Yeah, that's gonna happen a lot on Sunday.
Okay. That's hilarious. Okay, we're gonna see. We are going to see, sir. This, I don't remember.
Thursday's gonna be
the last time. You know what's funny? I don't remember the last time a Bills-Dolphins game has been this anticipated.
Jim Kelly versus Dan Marino? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's been a long time. No stuff, Rocco. That was like how long ago? 20 years ago? 20 plus years ago?
I wasn't even alive yet, so.
Yeah, man. Kudos to you.
So is that bet on or what? We gonna have that bet?
Yeah.
I told you if the Dolphins win, you get a 6-pack of Land Shark beer.
I'm gonna definitely get that right to my brother Giuseppe. He gonna drink that on the show, right on the show with you on it, because I'm not drinking.
I'm just gonna say this real quick. If anybody ever wants to make a bet with me and bet some Green River, I'm all for it. Because Green River is a Chicago specialty. All right. Green River, that's Chicago loyalty right there. So if anybody's willing to offer that up, go ahead. So,
all right,
Rocco. The only thing I want in Chicago is some Chicago pizza.
Okay. So do you want actual deep dish or do you want like the actual stuff?
I want Geno's East actual.
Okay, so you want the actual stuff, not the fake stuff. Okay.
No, I don't want the fake shit because I've had the real shit, and that real shit is good.
Yeah, it is. Hey, you know what, Andre? If this is the last time I'm on Monday Night Madness for a while, man, this was a good show.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Rocco. If I would have known that, you'd have been talking even more than you have been. I would have just shut up and put my mic on mute and let you go ahead and do your thing. For real.
Yeah. Because
I wish yesterday you would have had your stream, because then you could have ran Monday Night Madness yesterday.
Man, my schedule's been so busy. Like, I don't know what it is, but it just keeps getting busier and busier.
Says Dre, Tua hasn't felt a real rush yet. Tua gets rushed. He coughs the ball up faster than a baby with a burn on formula. Oh, shit. Oh, snaps.
No, I think Tua is trying to stay in Miami. If I had to speculate, I think he's going to ball out this year because he wants to stay in Miami.
Tank.
Because I think Tank knows that the Miami Dolphins, they could bring somebody back home and get rid of Tua.
Mm-hmm.
If they could bring back the hometown boy.
2 years.
You know, because also, I mean, I just been telling people is that if Tua performed terrible this year, they're going to let him go and get Lamar. Because Lamar loves Miami. He's back. It's his own.
Lamar's still coming in 2 years. Don't worry about that.
All right. Hey, are we still live, by the way?
Yes, we are. And
Yeah,
we about to
that's live.
yeah, talking all this stuff. We about to be off.